then you get all your trash talking radio on trash talking radio. And let me tell you something, no matter if you know what you're talking about, and when it's all said and done, we're going to get funky like a monkey. Pay attention to TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday night. If you don't, this is Axe Demolition. I'll come to your house and kick your stinking door down.
Hey, this is the Queen of Extreme Francine, and when I'm lonely, I listen to Mike Trash from 7 to 10 p.m. on Trash Talking Radio.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
This is Trash Talking Radio. Don't miss the interview with Ken Shamrock, me, of course, the world's most dangerous man. I'll see you soon. How you guys doing out there? This is Timo, one of the originators. You listen to TrashTalkingRadio.com. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the living legend Larry Zabisco broadcasting the direct news bulletin from Larry Land. And when you're driving your car at home listening to radio, make sure you're listening to Mike Trash on Trash Radio. And know all the scoop.
It is Trash Talking Radio. It's Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week. Uh-oh, all of a sudden it looks like it's not working. Wait a minute. Hold on here. What happened to my screens? What happened to my stuff here? It's just not working. Oh, it was working. It was working really cool. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Now I all of a sudden lost my screen. What happened here? It was working. It was working really cool.
Today's not the 19th.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Today's not the 19th.
What's 19th?
You have 4/19/19. That's
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah, this is Friday's show. I can change that.
Okay. I was like, wait.
I'm more worried about us losing our thing here. Our virtual set is missing.
Did it get flooded?
I don't know what happened here. It was working really good, too. It was working the whole time we were testing it, and we went
Well,
into
see, that's
production.
what happened. We went live, and it goes...
Yeah, well, all the water, I think, splashed on the electronics
I
in
believe
the background, see. And so that video stuff, or the pictures I was showing, was from a show that we did last Tuesday, or Wednesday. What day was it? Saturday. Saturday. I don't know.
Are you okay?
No, I'm doing too much at once. I'm trying to make everything work, and it doesn't. Now I'm trying to find a thing that has the right date. I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, this is what I need to fix. What is the date? 16th.
Today's the 16th.
You know, I even said 16.
Because yesterday you should have filed your taxes if that was the last day you had. I know you did. I filed mine. We're good.
Okay, now we should have the right date. If I remember correctly, it looks like this. 16. I don't know where you saw 19.
Right there.
No, it's not there. Yeah, that's your illusion.
Oh, that's my computer?
It's your computer.
Okay.
Your computer's behind, or your computer's ahead, I guess, actually, technically. So, yeah, it was a really interesting week that we had, a weekend that we had. And, see, I want to know what happened. That should not be happening. We had everything locked in here before we started. I want you to confirm that when we started, it all was working.
Yes.
And something happened, and all of a sudden, we lost our stuff.
The water got onto the computer.
Yeah, that must be it. I'm going to stand up for a second. Hope it doesn't screw it up, but now he just saw the. Hey, we got her back.
There.
Yeah, that's it. See, the water in the background is just taking up all the room, and what a trip. When you want to try to do this magic stuff, it just doesn't work all the time, so it kind of sucks.
And you should know better than to try to do it on a show night, but you never learn.
No, I had it working. You have to admit it was working.
Yes, it was working, but you should know better.
I do know better, but it still was working when I started. And so I don't understand what happened to it that it didn't.
Because you should have given it one more week to play with it, learn it, and then go live with it next week. That way,
you can't just order an Ocean to show up whenever you want it to show up. It's not like you can download the Ocean and then put it on the screen.
But
you have to have it. Look out the
window.
window. There's guys swimming out there.
I know that.
Oh man, what a trip! I got to do one last thing here. I got to pin this. Oh, that's last week's show. So I got to pin this week's show. There it is. Hey, there we are. I got to pin this week's show to where last week's show was. And now we're ready to go. First off, I want to thank NTW for allowing me to show up and defend the title, which, by the way, we won.
We won. Defend it.
Well, I mean, you know, my guy Rotmar did.
But wait a minute. If I remember correctly, you weren't very happy with the committee.
We won.
I know that, but you didn't like the fact that you had to manage him.
We won. Does it matter? It doesn't matter as long as you win, does it?
Well, if I remember, I think I know somebody that interfered.
Who? I didn't see it.
Of course not. You fell.
We'll talk about more of that a little later. Plus, I want to make an announcement for a show, whatever, the show that you just sent to me that I didn't look at it yet.
ECPW.
So, anyway. All right, so there we are. Yeah, this is interesting because I'm running a new program that allows me to do better things. Let's try this. No, I shouldn't try anything at this point because I'm just asking for trouble. But you know, I like to ask for trouble apparently because I'm pretty stupid like that. And now let's see here. First things first. Got to check to see if my are we streaming? Everything working?
Yeah.
There it is. Click for more. Here we go. Yep, there it is. There we go. Yeah, hey, it looks pretty good on there. It actually looks better than it does here. That's good. Well,
so now when the show's
I need you to see the window back there. I need you to clean that window. It's got a really bad smudge on that.
Yeah, okay.
You're the maid.
Well, I know that.
Josh
but
is
this
maid.
we're doing a live show. I don't
want you to do it now.
Shows.
Not now. You don't work.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. You don't work during live shows. You're over there playing Scrabble or whatever you play.
What? There's no Scrabble.
Anyway, so
So do I have to do this at the end too?
yes.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't. That doesn't matter as much as
Okay.
the beginning. I just gotta make sure that it does what it does. I keep thinking that something's gonna happen and we're gonna get flooded from this water hitting the screen. And these people are surfing outside the window, and I don't like that.
Well, as long as they flood on your side, not on mine, we'll be fine.
I don't know if I like them surfing outside the window though. It's
Surfing
we're,
USA.
well, see, our new studio is now on a boat. Yeah. Well, we have stabilizers for that.
Oh, good. Because I don't want to get seasick.
The thing is, I see all these things are orange instead of red, and I don't know how it's sounding because of that. So, you know, it could be a problem with the overhead. We might be taxing the computer harder than it should be. So I just got to play it out and see what happens. But we may not be able to do this really cool, fancy stuff that I want to do.
Not at least until you upgrade stuff.
Well, I may have to. I want to do this. Of course, I can put it on the Nook that I have here, too, which would eliminate a computer and take some of the strain off of it. So we'll see. I'll have to see how this one actually works out. Anyway, so here we go. Let's start with the movies as before, as always, because that is the next. See, even on the screen, you can see the movies, kind of. And the neat thing is we can zoom in on different things, if I can figure out how to do it. Here we go. I don't know who we zoomed in on.
You?
Yeah, well, kind of on the screen.
And my shoulder.
And then I can hit this button here that's supposed to give me a different angle, but, you know, that is a different angle. Shows the water even bigger. Big old water. Anyway. Let's see. Okay. All right, so off to the movies. We're see what we can do here. And boom, shakalaka. Why is my water stopping again? My water stopped again. Well, let me see if it starts up again when I go over to the... Yeah, it starts up. Okay. Okay. It starts up when it gets back in that screen. Okay. So we're there. All right, here we go. Last week we had 4 movies. We had After, Hellboy, Little, and Missing Link, all starting for $12. Theaters 2,000, 3,200, 2,600, and 3,500. Boy, oh boy, were we off on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, why isn't it there, though? I put all the numbers there. Hold on.
I have them here.
Why didn't my numbers transfer over? They should have. Okay. Well, I said number 1 was going to be Hellboy. You said number 1 was going to be Missing Link. We were both wrong. No, we weren't. One of us was right. Which one was right? No, wait. The number 1 of our... Oh, Little was number 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Little was number 1 with what?
15,000 or 15 million. 15,000. Oh, jeez.
All right, so we're going to put this in and see how everything's stacked up because this is all FUBAR bad. We did
well, that's good. You know, neither one of us got it, so we're right there.
No, it was really bad. 15 million just was horrible at the big ones. So that was the first one. What was number 2?
Hellboy.
Hellboy was number 2 at
12 million.
12 million. Now, I just wouldn't have guessed that in our wildest dreams because...
Well, after watching it, I can see why.
Yeah, well, I will have to say, I can't disagree with that. Number 3.
Was After.
After, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Where's Missing Link?
4th.
4th. Wow. What was number, how much was number 3?
6 million.
And how bad was Missing Link?
5.9.
Now, you got to think about the money that they spent.
You're down one too many blocks.
You know, it's because it's as bad of a movie as it is my typing today. $5.90.
$5.90. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, pretty close. 5.9. That's why I do it ahead of time. I still got 5.9. This is why I do it Monday night and Sunday night. I try to have the numbers there. All right, so we really got screwed here. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 was Little. So, not so good. We didn't get, neither of us got a point for that. 15 million, I got a point for that. So that's 1 for me. Number 2 was
Hellboy.
Hellboy. All right, so number 2. Oh, I put number 3. Dang, number
that
2.
keyboard and the water got on the keyboard.
That's what it is. So number 2 was 12 million. You would get a point for that.
Yes.
Number 3 was
After.
And I'll tell you, I don't. I said 10 million. You said 6 million. You get the point. Or you said 8 million. It's 6 million.
Yes.
And Missing Link, I said 30 million. It was 5.9. So I got a point. So what's that mean?
We're tied.
We're tied. So now let's look at the big 3 and see if we can.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that I want to either, but I did have the numbers here for the top 3, and they're going to be.
It was Shazam.
Yep, that's what I got. And
Little.
Yep.
And Hellboy.
Yep, that's what I got. Okay, good. All right, so the big 3 was Shazam. Did either of us pick Shazam? Yes, we both picked Shazam. Number 2.
Little.
Little. Neither of us picked Little. And number 3 was Hellboy, which you picked Hellboy. So I give you that.
Thank you.
So I guess you won this week.
Yes.
What a close one, though. We sucked.
It was hard as hell.
We sucked big time on this one, man. We just did not do well. So
I blame it on you.
Blame it on me.
Yep.
I don't know. So yeah, that's probably the worst we've done. I can't even. I mean, I never imagined Missing Link doing 6 million.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, that's like a cartoon that's animated. You would
Right.
think.
I would have thought kids would have gone to that because it did kind of look funny, but they didn't really advertise it very well. So I blame it on the advertising. After I just didn't
And
really
the bad
get
thing
it.
is when I picked mine, I went with based on the number of theaters.
So did I.
So
Yeah, that apparently means nothing.
no, apparently
So,
not.
all right. Well, this week
Oh,
we only
this
have
is Easter.
3.
Oh, good. And being Easter weekend, this is going to throw some
See,
into it.
okay. So I did what you said. Put in the amount per millions. If you noticed, I changed the reading of it. And so this is what we got for new movies. We got 3 new movies this week. And I'll tell you what, I'm not excited about this week at all. There's only one I don't even know what it is. So this is what okay, so here we go. We got 3 movies. We got, let's move this over. The Breakthrough is in 2,700 theaters.
Okay. That's the one I really want to see.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the religious one.
By the way, Breakthrough and Penguins both are opening tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
17th?
17th.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah, 17th.
Yeah, today's the 16th.
So we got Breakthrough and Penguins opening on the 17th. Penguins is only in 1,700 theaters, and that's a Disney flick.
Okay.
Who knows? And the one that opens Friday is called The Curse of La Llorona. Now that is a scary movie, and it's good to have it for Easter.
You can. Mm-hmm.
I'll take Tracy, and we'll go see the horror movie. And I see she's there, so hi. And I guess I waved at nobody because they can't see it because I got the.
Dork.
Well, hold on. Hi. See the waves back here? I feel like we're going to be flooded any second now. All right.
You're waving in the back,
I'm
so.
waving where the waves are. All right. Anyway, back to this. All right. The curse of. Okay. So the 3. Here's Breakthrough.
How many theaters on that horror movie?
That's the big one. That's
Because you didn't.
3,700 or 3,400.
Okay, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
so
I
didn't have
did.
it down.
You just didn't hear me because
Okay.
you were busy picking on me. All right. Anyway, all right. So here we go. Breakthrough is a movie. If you like, This Is Us. This has the girl, the daughter from This Is Us, and it looks pretty good. I gotta say, it does look pretty good. Here's the theater trailer for that movie, and she's a really good actress, by the way.
Oh, I know.
And I gotta say that I hate the fact that when she's on, I'm guaranteed that show, This Is Us, I'm guaranteed to tear up at least once an episode, and that just sucks because I don't
Are you
want
gonna lose your man card over this?
I have lost it already. I'm in the process. That's why I'm back in wrestling. I need to get my card back. And they'll give it back after some of the things I've done. So, all right, here we go. This is Breakthrough, and it looks like a good movie, but it's truly a religious movie. If you're not into religious movies, don't go see it because you won't like it. If you are into religious movies or not offended by a religious movie, it'll be a good movie. So here we go.
Well, I know what I'm doing tomorrow night.
Well, that was...
Rise and shine. Breakfast is ready in 10 minutes. And don't make me come back out there. This is our town. It's a close-knit community, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone.
Hi, Miss J.
Hey, how are you girls? And we're always there for each other.
Nice sermon, Pastor.
What do you guys have on for the rest of the day?
Well, John has a basketball game.
Yeah, I've seen this guy hooping up around here. This kid is so lit.
Text your mom tomorrow and tell her when and where to pick you up. And, don't do anything stupid.
Love you guys.
Boys, get off the ice!
We're training for the Olympics, sir!
I got to tell you, this movie is really interesting to me because it's truly a family movie.
Mm-hmm.
But you got this girl from This Is Us. You also have Cage from the Marvel series, so he's a superhero, although he doesn't show his superheroism. He does, because he saves him.
See?
But I think I'm trying to be funny. I should just let it play. Plus, I got interrupted so that I don't get in trouble. By the way, I got in trouble last week. Just to let you know.
For more than 15 minutes. It's gonna be a recovery, not a rescue. I got something. I got it!
You've done everything medically possible. There's nothing more we can do.
No. Please, God, send your Holy Spirit to save my son.
A 14-year-old St. Charles boy who spent 15 minutes...
Okay, that's Cage. That guy there is the tough guy that has a skin of steel. So
trapped underwater is
that's how he could get the kid out, because he was steel. He could, you know.
Yeah, true.
continuing to fight for his life.
I don't believe John will survive the night.
You don't know my son. He is a fighter. So I need you to be the best for John, and you just let God do the rest. You are my pride and joy. I can't wait to see you shoot those baskets and run them down again.
The Smith family asked for one thing. Please pray for John.
In the war that day, I was ready to give up, but then I hear this voice telling me, come back. Either I'm nuts,
or God's talking to you.
But I believe in God.
Not believe, but maybe that only goes so far or something like this.
I'm your pastor. I'm supposed to walk alongside you for as long as it takes.
Did you see the Facebook page on Bible?
Call me.
I hope it's gonna be okay.
We're not gonna get through this alone. Whatever you have for me, for Brian, for John, I surrender.
All right, so that was the first one.
Big decision.
All right, stop it. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is Penguins. Now this one looks pretty good, but it's a Disney, one of those things where they do a nature thing, and it looks like it could be pretty good.
I thought they called this one Steve.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his name. That's not the name of
okay.
It's not the name of the show. It's the name of the penguin. Because after all, I'm sure penguins would name themselves Steve and Bob. And well, Bob would be good because the bobbing and stuff. And but Steve is just an odd name for a penguin, I think. But hey, what do I know? I don't know much about penguins.
You
all right.
should.
Yeah.
Antarctica.
Anyway.
Home to the deadly leopard seal. The mighty killer whale. And Steve.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder.
A gentleman who stands out from the crowd.
And he always dresses nice.
Well, yeah, he's in a tuxedo.
Absolutely. He could be James Bond.
Oh, brother.
Steve Bond. Steve Bond. Because he's always ready to party.
He's looking for love.
Just a young gun with a quick view.
He likes long walks on the beach.
I was dreaming.
Fishing. And collecting rocks. Lucky for him, he's found his match.
By the way, supposedly, penguins mate for life. So if you don't think they do, I think they do, but I believe they do. Penguins are one of the few breeds that breed for life.
Well, I know peregrine falcons do.
How about
yeah, them too.
Para orange. pair of shoes. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's correct on the penguin thing. Look at that wave. Ow, look out. Look. Anyway.
As long as nobody hits you with a surfboard.
You never know. All right, ready? We'll continue this charade. Here we go.
But when his other half leaves him alone with the kids, he discovers that being a father is more than he bargained for.
And whose idea was that? Why did she leave the kids? I mean, after all, it's a woman's job to do this.
Excuse me?
That's what it
In
said.
today's society, partners are equal.
Well, they're not equal. Apparently, if she left the house. She left him alone. Anyway.
He must have bullied her.
Well, how do you know she didn't bully him by leaving? Anyway.
Next Earth Day, Disney Nature invites you to join an extraordinary couple fighting to raise a family in one of the most unforgiving and stunning places on Earth. Disney Nature's Penguins, Earth Day 2019.
So that's that.
Okay, so the answer to your question.
Yes.
It says, excuse me, penguins are primarily monogamous. However, some species, like the emperor penguin, are serially monogamous.
They like cereal?
They partner with one mate for a season rather than life.
I see.
So
well, that's not bad.
No.
They get all kinds of penguin punani.
Penguin hootenanny.
Why do you put the toilet paper up in front of my window?
Wasn't me! I didn't toilet paper your house.
You did. All right. There we go. There. I got it back. That's going to be annoying if I can't figure out how to fix that. Well, this is the test run anyway, so. Anyway. All right. Now, let's see. Where are we? That's the penguins, and then we have one more, and that is...
That awful curse.
The scary one. Here we go. Wait to see here. Okay. That's 18 days ago. That's 14 days ago. I want the newest one. There it is. Okay. This one's only 2 days. Oh, it's 2 months ago.
Ooh.
10 days ago. Here we go. 10. All right. This one would be the newest one. The official trailer. Not the unofficial trailer. Whoop, hey. I didn't ask you to do that. So this one is interesting because it's coming out at a weird time of year. Don't you think?
Yeah. But maybe they got their holidays mixed up.
Well, I'm wondering if it's somehow related to that holiday. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly why it came up with, why they decided to release it this time of year. But anyway, here we go. It should be, and by the way, I have not previewed this trailer, so I don't even know. I've seen a trailer for it. And I think it was in the theater that I saw the trailer for it. So
I think you're right.
Well, that hurt. Didn't have to be that loud. All right, here we go.
Trisha.
By the Clip King.
I'm very sorry about your loss.
It's your fault!
I can't even imagine how you must feel.
Okay, wait a minute. I did see the trailer for this.
Your children.
Yeah, it scared me. It scared me from wanting to have kids.
That's what they heard her crying. And they felt the sting of her tears. They will. And she will come for them. Who? Let your door now.
James Wan, by the way, he's pretty big in the scary stuff, but he's also pretty good in the artsy stuff.
boss in situations like this.
Get to La Llorona.
Is she coming?
She's already here.
What do we do?
I'll tell you what. One time, jump out at me one time, and I would have to do some harm, or run away. Not sure which one.
We are facing an evil. It has no bounds.
Oh, look at the hands. Oh, that would just put me out. But she's getting her hair washed. What the heck? I have to help. Isn't this kitty porn? Don't look. Don't look.
I'm not.
Not you. I'm talking to her.
The Curse of
La Llorona. So that is the 3 movies we have today. So, oh boy. I already picked mine.
I have mine.
All right, that's good. That's good. You need to, well, I can tell you, you want to know mine first, or you ready to?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say Breakthrough is first.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, okay. All right, what do you say for how much?
30 million.
30. All right.
I'm going to say Penguins is
Let me do
second.
something here. I'm going to make sure that this always gives the amount. Let's see, here we go. English currency. So you got 30 million. Okay. Number 2?
I'm going to say Penguins is second.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right. You have your biases, though.
Yeah.
You don't like horror movies, so I can always win when there's a horror movie. All right, go ahead.
At 25 million.
25 million. And next
And The
one.
Curse of Your Sharona.
My Sharona is
18 million.
18 million. Ooh. I'll tell you, because we're totally different on all these. I said number 1 was going to be The Curse of La Llorona. Number 2 I said was going to be Breakthrough, and number 3 was going to be Penguins.
I just think because of Easter, a lot of people are. It's going to bring a lot of more people out, and they're not going to want to see.
You're right. I mean, you may be right. You may be right. But I think there's a lot of people that just don't care.
So Wednesday night, when I'm going to go see Breakthrough, you go see your Sharona.
All right.
Oh wait, yours doesn't come out till Friday.
Yeah,
oh,
mine
well,
don't come out till Friday. So, all right. So then we have the big 3. The big 3. We're now down to. I only have 6, 7. I only put I got 7 here to choose from because I've eliminated a lot of them.
Right.
So just number 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, I'm going to say for number 1, Breakthrough.
Okay. 1 is Breakthrough. Keep in mind. Okay, well, I mean, just
Not 10.
I want to win one way or another. Okay, go ahead.
Number 2 is Shazam.
You think it may? I mean, I put number 2 as Shazam too. All right.
And number 3, I'm going to say is Little.
It may be. I mean, I don't have a clue. I said number 1 was going to be The Curse of La Llorona. La Llorona. Number 2 I said was going to be Shazam, and number 3 I said was going to be Hellboy. I'm thinking about that. Maybe not. I'm still going to stick with it. I'll stick with it. So that gives us a really totally different thing that we're both choosing things that are so far different. It'll be a good one. We're either going to both really, really screw up. One of us is going to really, really do well. One of us is going to do really, really awful because, well, it's just...
It's Easter. It's my holiday, you know.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing as anything. So, all right.
Hey, where did you go? You're not there. The waves got you.
I went out in the water. I'm out in the water right now. Well, how did I disappear?
The waves got you.
Oh, wait, there I am.
Oh, okay.
I was too forward.
I'm glad I could save you.
I just took a. Like I did this last time when picking the stuff I went under. I wanted a clean slate.
Okay.
All right, that's the end of the movies, right? There's nothing else I need to do about that.
Hey, one of our pictures was used.
Oh, I talked to him. Oh, wow, he got like to see what he has.
Yes.
Oh, I love that T-shirt. I need to get me one of them.
No, you don't.
I think I need to.
No, you don't.
I love that.
You'll be a loser.
I loved that match,
Yeah, it was funny.
especially when they took my gimmick. Trash can. That was a weird match. All right, let's talk. Well, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. In fact, we can talk about that while I continue the scrolling of the pictures.
There you go.
Because I gotta. Oh, look at this, Bobby Starr. Look at that.
Mitch Stein says the broadcast seems choppy.
It is choppy. I loaded it up with options and didn't realize it was going to take all my headroom up. Next week I'll get it fixed, I hope. So it is probably a little choppy because of that. Plus, I think Comcast is screwing up my internet. Because I have been having problems with my internet lately. Well, actually, the past 3 months, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
They just really, I don't know what it is, but my broadcast, I don't think I have enough bandwidth, and I think they keep shutting off, because if I'm streaming something at home and I'm watching a movie, it shuts off every once in a while because of their problems.
They're not supposed to do this on Tuesday nights.
Well, it might be my cable modem too. I mean, that's a possibility, but it's the highest end cable modem we could buy. So I may have to buy another cable modem if that's the issue. But I've had this for about 3 or 4 years, and I may just have to buy another cable modem. But if I can get upgraded in my service, then it'll be worth it. I'll be talking to them, hopefully, if I get time this week sometime, so I can, well...
What do you mean, if you get time?
You act like being retired gives you a lot of free time.
You're the one that says you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it, but I'm still busy.
You have no rush, you can do whatever.
I don't know who you're talking to. You weren't talking to me. I'm still as busy as I was when I was working.
Hi, puppy.
All right, so we got
Jason
this.
Demon's in there.
Yeah. All right, so plus I'm streaming to too many places, I think. I'm streaming to Facebook. I'm streaming to Periscope, Twitter, Twitch.
The Mix.
And the guys that hate me. YouTube, yeah, that's it. Well, they keep shutting me down, so I can't really say that they like me a whole lot. And I think if I were to cut a stream, it would probably be YouTube, because they censor me and cause me all kinds of headaches. So anyway, I'm still trying to dial this in. I've been trying to dial this in, and every time I dial it in, then I add something, and like this week I added the waves. I mean, can you imagine these waves hitting your glass all the time? It's horrible. It's really bad out there. It's horrible. Where's my window? Over. Nope, this way. My window's over here.
Window is.
I'm trying to point at my window. Right there. See those waves? And see that guy that's over there swimming past my window? That's amazing. I just, if I shut that window down, it would probably save me some bandwidth too. Anyway. All right. So this week was the first first match that I was involved in all year, actually for a year almost. And I had to go and do it again. I decided that I didn't get enough disappointment in my life. Actually, I'm not disappointed because we still have the belt. So we did the Trash Talking Radio belt, and we won. We won our match. So
we're not.
What?
I just know that you interfered.
What are you talking about? It doesn't matter how you win. It matters that you win. I'm going to try to fast forward as to the pictures of the match because I'm accused of doing something illegal, by Trish. I just think that she's just misguided. So I'm trying to get ahead here to the, let's see, Still Rob's match. Let's see.
I was still shaking from that.
Why was that?
Rob's match, because I wasn't expecting them to come up where I was.
Did they?
Yes.
What were they doing up there? Why didn't you get any pictures?
You didn't see the first few pictures?
I'll have to look again because I didn't notice it when I was doing the pictures.
Why do you think they were so close?
I noticed they were close. I thought, wow, she took out the zoom and now that.
No, they were right there because I said I couldn't move.
Oh, okay. Well, now I get it. You didn't really explain that to me.
Yes, I did. I told you I couldn't move because I had the video camera behind me. And all I was please don't hurt me.
All right, here we are. What, is Hammer there? Hammer, don't hurt me?
No.
All right, so this is the match that it was Rotmar. And what was the other guy's name?
There was... You mean, Kai, that's LBC.
No. His, I might not be there yet. Oh, okay.
No, you're not there yet.
Got another match to scroll through here.
Oh, that's, Sweet. Tommy Sweet.
Tommy Sweet? Okay. No, I don't usually deal with people that lose, so it can't be. Couldn't be anybody I knew.
It's the first time I had seen him.
Yeah, I've actually, that's one thing that I wanted to say is that I've been out of the business since 2012. I had one appearance in 2000.
Last year, 2018.
2000 last year. Anyway, so I was a little bit, okay, here we go. So first off, I gotta say, this is a fun promotion. It's a really neat building, and it's kind of fun that they don't have water like hitting their windows like this. And this guy is a really good wrestler, by the way. I want to say that, he took control of the match. He really did know what he was doing and how to work a match. And by all rights, he should have been champion by the looks of things. Anyway, so there I am in my... Oh, I guess I need to move that around here. So here I am in my infinite wisdom.
You and that bullhorn. Even though the bullhorn worked better than the microphone.
It broke. I broke my bullhorn. I'm gonna have to Velcro the. There's a so there's a thing you hold on to, like if you were a trucker in Breaker 19. Okay, the mic. Well, that mic broke off, and so I wasn't able to do it one-handed. So I had to hold it like this and do my announcing like this. And they were supposed to give me a mic. And I was supposed to come out first.
Right.
I was supposed to come out first, and I was supposed to tell everybody I don't like Rotmar, and he shouldn't be a champion, but he won the belt, and I had to manage him. That was the basic angle. Well, and then he was supposed to come out, and then our opponents were supposed to come out. Well, it didn't happen that way. For some reason, our opponents came out first, and then they introduced Rotmar, and I came out by myself. And they didn't give me a chance to do the angle. They didn't give me a chance to explain that I don't like Rotmar. He's a big goofball. And I didn't get a chance to say that.
Sweet.
Well, of course, most goofballs are. That's why you're so sweet.
Thank you. But I'm not that sweet.
No, you couldn't be that sweet. He's sweet. He's so sweet. Anyway, so we got, what's his first name?
Who?
Sweet.
Tommy?
Tommy. So Tommy.
I'm pretty sure it's Tommy.
Yeah, he actually impressed me in the back when I was talking to him. And I had some business with him before we went out, And,
is that what all the hollering was going on down there?
No. And by the way, I don't like these pictures.
I'm sorry.
They really show my hair, my lack of hairline.
Well, you're the one that told me to go up there.
Anyway, so I'm out there in the ring, just as so, and I was expecting a microphone, and I didn't get one. So I said, well, I got my megaphone. I'll just do my megaphone. So I started talking, but no, I don't think a lot of people heard me sort of, but I don't think it didn't come out on the recording very well.
Okay.
And actually, their microphone was so horrible, and I kept explaining to them, you need to buy a good microphone because the microphone could make or break you, and it was really the downfall of the show. Was the microphone because you couldn't hear? I mean, like it would break up in the middle.
In and out, like they were trying like too hard with it. Like they wanted to put it full volume, and it just wasn't working.
Right. And well, it didn't have anything to do with it. It had to do with it was a cheap microphone. It was a decent PA, but the microphone was cheap. And the reason it was, I mean, when he told me how much he paid for the system, I knew it was a cheap microphone before he even turned it on. But he was, the microphone is meant to be used within 5 to 10 feet.
Right.
That was far from 5 to 10 feet. So that was the problem. The second problem was that was really the big problem, was the microphone, because the people were louder than the microphone, because the microphone kept cutting out, and it sounded subpar, and it really shouldn't have, because there was really good talent in that locker room. But the downfall to the whole card was probably the microphone. And really, if that's the biggest downfall, okay.
You learned from it, though.
Well, I mean, I think they're a young group. They're really, of course, most of the kids were young when I retired. So, but I'm thinking this is like 5 years. And in 5 years, you can have a whole new locker room. And they did. They had a whole new locker room. I didn't know hardly anyone in that locker room.
Let's see. You knew Rob.
Yep.
You knew Adrian Bliss.
Yep.
You knew
Rotmar.
You had Backlund. Keith,
Backlund.
LDC.
Yep.
So
that was it. The rest of them I didn't. Even Mal Havoc I really didn't ever meet. And I knew who he was only because you talked about him. But, he seems to be doing really well. He seems to have a promotion, too.
He does.
He's doing
He's doing a show this Saturday.
Is that the one that I'm going to talk about? Or is that?
Nope.
No. Okay. Okay. Well, we could talk about that, too, if you know the information. But, I mean, he didn't get us the information. I wish he would have. Anyway, all right. So back to the show here. All right. So there I am, making my announcement, saying I don't want to manage this guy, but because he won the belt, I have no choice. He won the belt, so I have to manage him. And so, against my will, I of course did do that. And so then here he comes in his infamous glory. By the way, he and I are the same height. Did you know that?
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize I thought he was taller than me. So he's come a long way. I remember when he had his first match.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't really know how he was going to do, but, he's come a long way. And he still has some stuff to learn, like how to not win my belt. Well, he won the belt because of somebody interfering. Somebody interfered and caused a disqualification. So, But anyway, so we go through and we got Rotmar there and got, he's like threatening me there. You can see his fist, his closed fist, and he's, I'm cowering. Like, I know he's going to hit me. But he didn't.
You were a coward.
I'm not a coward. Anyway, so as the match goes on, they show my belt, and they threw it in the corner, so I went and grabbed my corner belt, and they started wrestling. If this guy had another foot on him, he would have been the same height. But Rotmar is just so big that, he's a big guy. He's a powerhouse because of how big he is. By the way, I have the right date on that.
Well, that's good.
I almost had the wrong date on that, but I caught it before I went it through. Okay. This is the first time I used this program that imprinted our stuff. Anyway, so now, this guy had not only this guy here, who was his manager, but he also had LDC out there. And was Keith out there too?
Yes.
So, by all rights, there should have been a new champion because he had a lot of help. All right, so the match goes on. Rotmar and Smooth. What'd you say his name was? Sweet, Smooth. I think he should be sweet and he should get a partner who's sweet, or no, who's smooth, and then he could be sweet and smooth, or smooth and sweet. Anyway.
Sweet and smooth doesn't go because you've got any smooth and that doesn't work.
You could get him to join the party.
Oh, brother.
And you got it. Anyway, so those guys were bashing out, and it was a good match. Those guys were hard hitting, and I'm just sitting there watching, just making sure everything was going right, making sure that Rotmar didn't cheat again. And you know, they're pretty hard hitting. Got a nice sidewalk slam going on there. And
lucky for you, it was a low ring.
Then look, he's throwing him out of the ring. That's totally
Not
illegal.
Over the top rope.
Yeah, but it's still illegal. It's not you know, if he was a fair fighting guy, he wouldn't have to do that. But we got that, and I helped him get in the ring because he couldn't get his big ham leg over that
Really?
rope. Yeah, right there. I'm helping him. You know, I'm helping lift his leg in.
Rotmar is not that. No.
You weren't there to see that. His leg was he was stuck. He was caught in the ropes.
You were holding it.
He was caught in the ropes. He got himself all tangled in the ropes. I was helping him get his leg free.
Sure.
And
yeah.
So I had to do what I had to do. And then he came. See, they're
he tripped.
He tripped.
Of you.
Not me. I helped him in. And then somebody over here was yelling at me. I was like, "What are you yelling at me for?"
Maybe the dog was barking at you.
You know, it's funny because the crowd was saying, "Hey, wait, aren't you managing him?"
They were. I could hear.
Of course
where
I was. Of course I was. I had to make sure that he would win. Anyway, so I'm standing there just watching the match in total amazement.
See, I love that picture of you because it really shows your weight loss there too.
Yeah. There's a couple that I didn't like 'cause for some reason. I should have tucked my shirt in. I would look better because it would have showed my weight loss if I tucked my shirt in. Anyway, so there we are. We see Rotmar getting his leg broken, hopefully. And, you know, crying like a baby. He was, oh, my leg hurts. And I had to go over and give him a Kleenex.
You had to go kiss his boo-boo.
And, you know, as you can see, he truly was on the bottom end of that, and he's getting beat up pretty bad by a smaller, much more skilled guy until, you know. Then there was a point where Rotmar was feeling sick, and I said, just cough it out.
It looks more like you're saying, "Come here, buddy, we got this."
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, right.
The audio in that was really funny at that point. They're like, "What's he doing? I thought he was managing that guy."
Well, yeah.
These people weren't paying attention to the whole script, whatever that is. Anyway, so there's a point that he almost pinned him there, and then the guy was really doing real good. He was pounding on him, and Rotmar was on the bottom end, as I've seen. See, that's why I didn't want him as champion, because this match, he's losing the whole match.
But see, sometimes that's what it takes. You know, save your energy, and then all at once, bam, at the end, you come out in 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, did I just say that?
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, and I'm standing there saying, oh, what's he doing? Because there's he's hurting his ankle. He's got an ankle lock on Rotmar.
That's true.
And then Rotmar screwed him over by, throwing him into the corner. And there we got another one that Rotmar was, he screwed him and hit him there too. But now they're both down and they're both trying to get up, and then Rotmar hit him with a clothesline and made him look, he hit him pretty hard. And then Rotmar did a, shoot, I forget what that's called. Yeah, he hit him with that move.
Spine buster.
Spine buster. That's the word. I couldn't remember. And then they're both down, and it looked really bad. And notice that LEC never interfered, and neither did anybody else. And then,
wait a minute. minute. It looks like you're in that ring.
Well, I saw a bug. I was trying to get the bug off.
Yeah, right.
Well, I just wanted to make it a fair match. And then I was arguing with the referee, and then Rotmar came over and was arguing with him for a little bit. And then the big problem. He grabbed me. He had no right to grab me. Rotmar should have not grabbed me. Now, he made me drop my belt. And it was nice of his opponent to pick it up and try to give it back to me. And
yeah, right.
And he came over. He came over, and he accidentally tripped when he hit it. When he came over, and
you are such a bullshitter.
we got disqualified. I mean, he got disqualified for hitting with a belt.
Not hitting below the belt,
That's
hitting
right.
with the belt.
Right.
Okay.
And then Rotmar grabbed me again. I'm like, what's the deal here?
I wish he roughed you up a little more.
He roughed me up pretty good. I mean, that hand. See where that hand is? That hand's like coming right at me.
I loved it.
And then he chokes me with his foot. I mean, really? You really needed to do that? That's unreal. So, and it was a little promo. I don't remember what the promo was because I didn't remember anything after that. So, it was a fun match, other than being hit. And just once in a while, you just should be nice to me. That's what I say.
Why? You're trash.
Because it's my belt.
Oh, jeez.
That's it. Oh, I see something I didn't see before.
What?
Look down in this corner. It says Trash Talking Radio down in the corner.
Cool.
Well, I didn't know it did that. Well, now I don't have to necessarily do this. Interesting.
That is cool.
Yeah. I could make it's a much smaller Trash Talking Radio. That's cool. Anyway, it was a cool match. It was a lot of fun. What?
Amy says you get the golden shovel for sure.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, it's a tough life. So, but anyway, I was really happy that I got invited to participate, and I'll tell you, I missed it. I missed wrestling so much, and I really hated not having that match. I could have done that. Would have made it bigger. Oh, yeah, that would have been better. Oh, well. Anyway.
And for their first show there, I mean, the crowd that they did have, it wasn't bad.
It was
about, what, 7,500 people?
75 to 100, yeah. It wasn't bad for an afternoon show, too.
True.
Because a lot of those guys had another show to do later on in the day.
Yeah, some went to Delaware, some went to Lewistown. Yeah,
yeah. It was crazy. But I was glad that I had a chance to be back in the ring and do what I do best.
And you didn't even have to climb that high to get in the ring.
Yeah. I remember when I used to do it regularly, I used to knock my knee on the ring when I get up onto those real high rings because you're used to lifting to a certain degree, and then when you get somebody's real high ring, your knee automatically goes to that one level, and then you go, ooh, and you can't even pretend. I mean, you can't even
jump.
Well, you can't even show that you hurt yourself because you're supposed to be a professional. You're not supposed to do that. But it was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. And I think I'm doing Kevin Murphy's show at the Farm Show building. I don't know if I'm doing it as talent or whatever, but I know I have something to do with. Oh, I think I have something to do with it. So.
Well, the show this Saturday that's Mount Havoc.
Tell me about it.
It is at the HMAC in the Capitol Room on 3rd Street. The doors open at 5. It starts at 6.
What is an HMAC?
It's like one of the rooms in the building, I believe it is.
Wait, I don't understand. Was the Capitol Room is a building?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's at the Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center. Is what it's called. It's in the Capitol Room.
Why don't you see if he's anywhere online? Just kind of curious.
Okay.
Just kind of curious whether or not, he's around and all that.
I mean, his
I didn't.
promotion is Revolution Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, and they've been running for a while.
Yeah, I think it should be fun.
Well, if you can see if he's on internet or on Facebook, maybe we can get him to call in.
I'll check around and see if I can find him. I mean,
We'll just look up Mal Havoc.
well, I did that, but he usually uses that one too, as far as I know. See, I don't see him there. But he got
Look on your
pictures.
phone. Look on your phone and see if it says online. You got pictures? Oh, he got our pictures. Yeah. Oh man, when I posted that, I had people going crazy with those pictures. They loved it. I added a lot of people onto the Trash Talking Radio list because people were asking me left and right if they could use the pictures. And I said, anybody can use the pictures as long as we have credit. I don't care. So.
It says he's online.
Yeah, I mean, just ask him if he wants to come on and talk about it. If not, it's no big deal. I mean, if he's busy, but if he's not busy, it would be it'd be his advantage to do it. And so, is this
what?
Did you sent it to me, right?
Yes.
Let me see if I got it here. Let's see. Start a new tab and take a look at this. What do we have? Okay, come on. What is up? What is up with this? Come on. It is slow. I'm really surprised. All right.
All right, I sent him a message. We'll see if he answers.
Okay. If he does, he can promote it. If not, no big deal. Trying to pull that up that you sent me, but everything's going slow.
I mean, that's the first time I've actually seen him in a match. And you know what I thought was funny? I mean, I loved the match that Mal was in because it was called Bunkhouse Stampede.
Yeah.
And I had never seen one of those before.
WCW used to do them, and NWA used to do
He
it.
says absolutely when.
Now? No reason to wait till the last second. I mean, geez.
If I can type right.
All right. This is really annoying that I can't do anything. Oh, here we go. Now I got it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I gave him the number.
All right. So we'll have a caller in a few seconds, and we'll talk about that. So this is, you
have to make sure you introduce him right.
I don't know how to introduce him. I would say Mal Havoc. How do you introduce him?
I'm trying to think of how they did it.
Well, I don't know, because if you're going to set me up for losing here, that's not right. It's RWF. It's going to be in Harrisburg's Midtown Arts Center. And it's the Capitol Room right next to the heart of downtown.
There he is.
Here we go. Trash Talking Radio, you're on the air. Hey, how you doing?
This is Mal Havoc.
Now, see, I was going to introduce you as Mal Havoc, but she said I have to introduce you a special way, and I don't know what that special way is.
I saw it written down somewhere, and I was trying to find it.
Well, if you prefer the living God.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, well, that's good. At least now we know where you're coming from. So you have a card coming up this Saturday at the Harrisburg Arts Center. So I kind of wanted to talk to you about it because, a lot of my friends are on that card, first of all, and I just kind of wanted to have you, give you a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic event. Anybody caught the first one? It had a very exciting ending. The Red Scorpion went one-on-one in a fantastic, epic contest against H.C. Loke. And unfortunately, my arch rival, Cyrus Parker, and his little band of goons decided to come into the ring and interrupt that, which has led to retaliation. So this Saturday night, you're going to get to see the Red Scorpion, TJ Mathis, and myself team up. And we're going to go 3-on-3 against Cyrus Parker. And these guys, Don and Adam King, they call themselves HFC. So, you know, that's the main event of the night. But, I mean, there's a whole stacked lineup in card that is just phenomenal. Have you seen the card?
I'm looking what I got. I'm looking at your poster, and it shows 2 matches on there. It says it says one. It says one about Rob Noxious against Malcolm King.
Yep, Rob Noxious going 1-on-1 with Malcolm King for the RWF television title.
Okay.
So that'll be pretty. I mean, that was actually the fans' choice. The RWF television title. Every match that's going to be defended, the fans might choose who's fighting for the championship, or they might choose what the stipulation's going to be. There's a special type of match. They're going to have the option to choose those things, which adds a really cool aspect to that title. That title will always be defended and have a stipulation that the fans determine when it's defended.
Okay. All right.
So that's the RWF Internet Championship. Malcolm King was the first. He won the inaugural Battle Royal, and he was presented that title by Ron Simmons. It's actually up on the RevolutionWrestlingFederation.com website. You can actually watch his victory. It's a bit of a cheap victory.
Oh no. It's not how you win. It's when you win.
You know what? And later that night, you know, JR Manitoba, he's the...
I know JR well.
The Revolution Wrestling Federation.
He's the what?
He tried to set... What's that?
What'd you say he is?
He's the GM. He's
okay.
the general manager. He tried to set the record straight for the fans to, you know, make King defend that title, because he faked a knee injury and then tossed Nui to the Big Al at the end.
Huh.
So he tried to make it right and made King defend his title against Topinga, and well, Malcolm King gave him a low blow to get disqualified and then beat him down with the chair. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Rob, because I don't see Rob taking a beating like that and not having repercussions coming back at Malcolm King for it.
I can tell you, Rob's a tough guy. I've known him for a long, long time, long before we both got into wrestling. In fact, we used to play the Nintendo Pro Wrestling game in his bedroom, and we'd be up there for hours and hours and hours playing that game, and he'd be so mad at me because I'd beat him with Starman, and nobody's supposed to win with Starman, so...
You know, I probably wouldn't even be doing this myself if it wasn't for Rob. You know, he gave me, back when I was only doing music, he gave me an opportunity to come in and perform my music at one of his events.
What do you do?
And,
what kind of music?
What's that?
What kind of music?
I was in a nationally signed band called Seventh Layer.
Okay.
And most recently, I've been doing music with this group called Wolfpack.
You know, I do. You know, I'm a musician. I'm a musician as well.
Yeah, you know, well, that's kind of that was what got me into you know, the wrestling, was getting that opportunity to come out and do that with Rob. And you know, they had you know, a couple bad guys that come down and, you know, jumped us in at the intermission, and then of course, you know, we had Delicious had come out and gave us the save that night, and, you know, kind of the video got out to a couple other promotions, and they had booked my band to come in. I mean, I call it a band, but, you know, we didn't become a band until years later. But, you know, we were a rap duo, and they booked us to come out and rap at their events and do similar things with their companies, and I just kind of built up, and I started doing that while we were on tour. It's like, oh, there's a local indie company. You know, let's contact them. Let's see if we can get on to do something, you know, and it picked up steam. You know, a lot of times we were doing 2 shows, you know, a night, and before we even do those 2 shows, we were going and, you know, rapping in a wrestling show earlier in the evening, you know.
I understand that totally. Yeah,
there's a lot of appreciation we have for Rob Noxious for, you know, even giving us that opportunity to do that, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I've been in music since, well, a long time, and this particular band, we've been together since '91, and we have an album out in '97, and we have 3 more in the hopper that we're working on right now. So I know music.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
Enlighten me a little bit. What's the band?
Uncle Sam Band, and
Uncle Sam Band, cool.
I can send you some links to some music, but it's really the new music is even so much better than the old music, and the old music was really good. But the stuff,
absolutely, shoot me some links. I love checking out new music.
Yeah, and I got into business because of Rob. I knew Rob when he was breaking into the business with Blackman and all that stuff, and I used to drive down to Lebanon with him and watch him train and all that stuff. And I'll tell you what, I was talking to Rob earlier today. Do you realize that his promotion, CCW, is one of the oldest indie promotions out there right now?
Yeah, I know it's been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly their start year, but I do know that when we were doing the little sticks with them, that was back in like 2005.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's got some tenure, man. You got 14 years. Actually, geez, I just did a show for Dino Santa, which
I know Dino.
Dino was WWA, the 39th anniversary show.
Yeah. Wow.
WWA. Incredible.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I forgot about him. He's been around for a long time too.
Yeah, they had the Battle of the Shanes. Shane Douglas come in, and he fought Shane Taylor, and definitely a good match. It's set up for their big charity show for June 1st. WWE is doing big things down there, man. They got a packed house, sold out house, like every show, and they're running bi-weekly.
Yeah.
So they you get a chance, check them out, especially on the mall shows. It's every second Saturday. They're at the mall. I can't remember the name of the mall. Is it Coventry Mall?
I think it's Coventry. I think so.
Yeah, Coventry Mall.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they made the local news with it because they've almost single-handedly saved that mall.
Wow.
With what they're doing, they gave that mall now. They've given that promotion now the old Foot Lockers. That way they had more room because they were growing out of their mall space and they had to get into a bigger room. And now it's got professional lighting and everything up top. So I mean, it looks amazing.
I worked for him a long, long time ago. I can't even remember how long ago, but yeah, I worked for him a long time ago. And actually, we worked. Cage and I used to go. We worked 16 different states, and in fact, the Trash Talking Radio Belt worked 16 different states too. So, oh man. That's amazing. I'm really glad to see
that kind of reach. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was fun. It was. Oh man, I missed it for so long. I've been out for a long time, and I just came back, and I remember how much I missed this because of being out. I was out with a lot of. Well, I've had a few injuries in my time, so. And 3 shoulder surgeries and 3 shoulder injuries and. Oh, man, I'm telling you. A broken arm. What did I break my wrist and I broke my finger? And, oh, man. That's hard to believe that the manager gets that involved. It's the problem is that
you admit you got involved.
Well, that's because the wrestlers attack me. I don't do anything. I just stand outside the ring.
You don't do anything. You're a bullshitter.
It's like this past weekend. Rotmar would have lost that belt if I didn't help.
Uh-huh.
But because I helped, he got disqualified. So he got to keep his belt.
Look, if he's your client, you got to do what's in the best interest
exactly.
of the client.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on the side of the winner.
If you needed help many, many times.
That's right.
And I ran a 174-0 streak before. I didn't even lose. I didn't call that a real loss. We'll just keep saying I'm undefeated.
I'm undefeated. I've wrestled. I've won every match I've wrestled, and that's because I actually defended the belt several times. I was the champion for a while. I retired the belt.
That's the way to do it. Win it and then call it quit. I should have done that, but they had one of those stupid little contracts that they pulled out of a stocking and showed up to take the title from me.
Oh.
After I just fought a 45-minute hardcore match.
Well, yeah, but you got to understand the Trash Talking Radio belt is my belt. It's my match. It's my rules. So if they don't go by my rules.
So, and if you don't want to defend it, you don't gotta.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's my rules. So, but and I've had some strange matches where I actually refereed some of the matches against the people that were taking on the belt, and it was kind of it was interesting.
Andy Weinberg's in.
Well, look, Andy's he pinned a scorpion, So. he's in the chat room right now, so I just want you to know that anything you say can and will be used against you in the locker room.
Who's in the chat room right now?
Andy Weinberg. Weinberg.
Oh, Andy Weinberg, one of the greatest kill managers in the business.
He actually wrestled a match this week. It was against the Scorpion. And that was a no. Who was it?
I was there.
Scorpion?
Yeah, because he pinned the Scorpion twice. That's the second time he pinned him.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how. As much as like I'm a Red Scorpion guy. That guy's got a good heart. You know, heart of gold.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys covered his whole St. Baldrick's. He went bald to benefit children with cancer. I mean, there's class act right there.
I'll tell you what, I thought he looked pretty good without hair.
He looks. I mean, me, him, and T.J. Mathis are going to go shine our heads. It's going to look phenomenal. We're going to be blinding people with our ballies.
Everybody turn down the lights for the next match. But how long have you been in wrestling?
Well, most recently, not counting the music touring stuff, for the last 5 years, man, I've been kind of taking away at this, and now it's to the point where I'm doing it every weekend, and it's gotten to be a pretty phenomenal and humbling experience getting to travel and go to all these different companies and stuff that I was, I don't want to say that I wasn't taking it seriously 5 years ago, but I really wasn't trying to branch outside of what I was doing.
Sure.
And to be able to now take this to a level where I'm going down to the Valor with a run, and go down to WWA every other week. We got the RWF thing going on. I get to, whenever they actually run, go down to work LTW down in Virginia. Having all these options on the plate is just really been an awesome whirlwind for me for something that, this was my down step for me. It's like, okay, well, I've gotten training on this. Let's step away from the music. That's ultimately what this, decision was to really get into this. Was all right. Let's focus back on this and stop doing the music because it's taking time away from my kids, and do something that my children can go to and enjoy.
Sure.
And so that's really been what this was all about. Now it's kind of like, man, every weekend, hey kids, you want to go to wrestling? No, come on guys, let's go.
Yeah. I can understand that.
They get burned out on it because it's like, it's like, oh, Dad, we want to go. I know, guys, we'll get to that. So, Sunday, we usually pack a lot into our Sundays.
Okay.
Our Sundays pretty much end up being, we're going to some arcade, we're go-kart riding, we're going to, play some baseball, whatever it is, everything gets packed into our Sundays.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's the fun part is that you can do that with your kids and everybody can have a good time enjoying the fruits of your stuff. So I think it's I love I used to go to things with my dad all the time. That's the only thing that I remember that we bonded in. We used to go to Capital Sports Wrestling at the Zembo Mosque back in the 70s. And
oh yeah. That was been great for coming through to Zembo, man.
Yeah.
Not that I was there for it, but I've heard. I know. I've read.
Yeah. It's really. It was fun. It was the one thing that I could do that I had to relate with my dad, and so I wish he was around to see me do some of the stuff that I've done, because I've certainly done enough stuff with bizarre stuff that I can never really tell him about, but it would have been awesome to show him. And because we used to go to Long Island once a week or once a month, and used to go to Jersey all the time, and geez, we were all over. I put so many miles on that car.
And you've been to Maryland, down to Rambo?
Yeah, I used to work for Rambo all the time. I used to work for DWF, and geez, I can't even all the places we've been. I can't even tell you I wish they didn't close my original Facebook down because I had pictures from all over the place that I don't have anymore, and I would have liked to have kept them.
Oh, wow, they shut that page down. You lost all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I lost everything that I had on there because I lost my computers at around the same time. It was sucky because you can't try to talk to somebody in Facebook. You can't talk to everything's automated, and if you try to explain, you can't explain anything. You have to. It's all pre-programmed answers. So there's just no way you can, But anyway, how many cars? How long's been? Is RFW relatively new?
Oh yeah, that was the
RFW, RWF.
That was the first event. And this here, I mean, like it's just starting to go down the card. We got young guys like Mike Madness, Vince Varro, guys who are just getting their start and getting out there. But we have the Dogs of War. You just mentioned Rotmare. Dogs of War will be going into their grudge match here with the Hess family. We got a great correlation of talent from all over the area.
Nice.
Going into New York, going down to Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Jersey. The AEC's coming out for this show. They're all based out of Jersey. So, there's such a great collection of talent that will be under one roof for this show. And, it's going to definitely be one of those things where, pay attention. We're going to do things differently. And, I think it's really going to show, with the attendance at that first show. Things are different there, and a lot of the workers are recognizing that, and they're taking notice to it. It's pretty fantastic. We have a full-on production team. We call it the Committee of Seven. So,
okay.
7 people from within the music industry and entertainment industry, wrestling industry, all coming together on this concept. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Wolfpack, but a couple of guys from Wolfpack are involved. They handle a lot of the production end of things. We're doing a live broadcasting, so it's live multi-camera angled streaming with full-on graphics and commentary.
Nice.
So nothing's done in post-production. It's all done as the show's happening.
Awesome.
And, ultimately, we have our end goals with that where, we'd like to try to get, paid distribution for it. But right now, it's kind of like, well, let's get this out there. Let's give them a reason to want to get distribution to this,
Sure.
So we'll be doing not only the live event, but there's going to be a live stream of the event going on as it's happening.
Sounds really good. Sounds awesome. So that's
when we set out with it, that was kind of like, okay, well, what can we do that sets it apart from everything else out there? Because there's so many great indie companies that are out here right now, and there's constantly new ones popping up. Because right now it seems like everybody under the sun wants to run a company.
Sure. Yeah.
And Harrisburg's the Wild West. I mean, once PWE folded, and PWE and prior to that UWE had a stranglehold on Harrisburg. And when those folded, it really opened up the Wild West for that area.
Sure.
And it's like, who can do it first? And so, our RWF was like, let's do this, And then, of course, came the messages like, we were thinking about running Harrisburg. Yeah, okay, cool. We are.
I think it's really great. It's awesome to see that people are out there, doing it the best way they can and trying to make it a viable thing. Are you part of the Rope to Rope thing?
I've heard about the Rope to Rope thing, but no, we kind of created our own little network and kind of in the same type of concept with that.
Yeah.
But speaking with Rotmare, I kind of heard about his idea with it. And I said, well, we have great relationships with Valor and CCW, and I made sure not to step on any of their dates at PWE. Even though they're only running a one-night event. But the guys from PWE, Kevin. When I first started talking about digging down into this, Kevin was the first person I was talking to. I was set to actually meet with Kevin. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the UWE product, but I was set to meet with Kevin the night that Sage Strong pulled the fake heart attack angle.
Okay.
And it didn't wise anybody up on it. So it kind of, soured the meeting that I was going to have have with him, and I think kind of soured the whole company. So when WWE folded, and I never got an opportunity, and I came in under a different company, and they gave me some opportunities other people weren't going to give me at the time. You know,
Sure.
And I got to grow and mature under it. You know, for 3.5, 4 years, somewhere in there. And over the last year, just really, after stepping away from that, I've really been able to blossom into my own thing, you know. But yeah, they had, PWE had such a stranglehold on the Harrisburg area. There was nobody that could compete with that. And they put on such a big show. And it was phenomenal for the area. You know, Harrisburg is a real pro wrestling city.
Well, I couldn't believe they.
The fans out there love it.
I couldn't believe they were running some of the places they were at, like the Zembo Mosque, for instance. I mean, I haven't really remembered anybody tackling that for a long time, and it brought back memories for me, even though I didn't go. I thought it was really cool that they were doing that. They were thinking big.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. You know, and you know, when you're doing that, and then you know, you're bringing in guys like, you know, well. Yeah, the one show they brought in the NWO. I mean, save for freaking Hogan and Big Show. Like, you had, like, every guy that was the matter had he was, what, 6? Paul Nash, Eric Bischoff, I think, like, 1 or 2 other guys from the NWO were all there, under the same roof.
Wow.
I mean, that type of undertaking in itself is just, like, you know, unreal, you know, and the companies, I've seen companies do that, but, you know, usually it's like Rene Dupree and, you know, a couple of the guys that weren't at that level of, like, you know, guys who redefine the industry, like Bischoff, Hall, and Nash, you know, and to put those type of, three type of personalities, obviously, you know, they're going to work with each other, but to even try to undertake that as being an indie company is just massive. And,
right.
You know, they brought in DDP, they brought in Ryback. We brought in, I think it's just Mr. Ass. I can't remember if Roadhog was there with him. But they brought in players in the wrestling industry and did it really well right in Harrisburg, you know. And when you think of Harrisburg, yeah, it's a great little city, but, you know, you don't expect a company to go out like they did.
Sure.
And they really set the standard for what Harrisburg should have for pro wrestling, you know.
That's true. So... anyway, is there any other matches that have we covered them all, or?
We didn't cover them all. I think the standout match, I think the sleeper match, that is I personally think is going to be the show stealer is Malik Avalon versus Michael Zato.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar with those two guys, man, if you watch one thing from that live broadcast, tune in to see that match. You know, we got Carnage taking on Shane Taylor. Mr. Ping will be teaming with Stephon Stone to take on the Unholy Assassins. We got Thunder Bear in action. The Pony Express will be taking on the Baby Daddies, which, if you haven't seen the Baby Daddies, you're in for something entertaining, too. Prince Shango will be taking on Dorian Black. And BJ Walker will also be in action. BJ freaking Walker.
Nice.
Sounds like you got a pretty good card going on there.
Yeah, you know, action-packed front to back, and, you know, it'll be definitely something to tune in and watch, or more importantly, show up live.
Yeah, there we go.
Live pro wrestling.
You got to be careful of that JR Manitoba, though. You know, I've known him for a long time, and we've had our interactions.
I've smothered it out before, you know. It's on video somewhere floating on the web, interwebs out there.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. He
asked a couple wrong questions, and, you know, took my hand, and I freed him.
Well, that's good. You don't let him get too far, because he'll take advantage of it. So he's not like me. He's not a fair guy.
What?
He'll take advantage of everything he can. So
it's all about what's fair and just, and that's, I had to guide him and show him that salvation is possible.
And sharing that with us, and I hope.
I appreciate you having me on and letting me come and run my mouth, because it's what I do best.
Well, that's good. It's good to have something you do good. I'm still looking for that for myself. But you know.
My money's in my coffee. And I appreciate you having us on for sure, and definitely hope to see you guys out there. Let me know if you are coming out.
All right, you have
Make sure that we get your name up there.
All right, sounds good. You have a good day.
All right,
bye.
Definitely, thank you.
There we go.
I love it.
There you go. He talks a good game.
He does. He really does.
That's that was Mal Havoc, and so there we go. One thing they wanted me to talk about was ECPW is going to be doing a show on April 28th.
Yes, that's the following.
That's the following week, and they asked me to talk about that. And they're going to have some good people there. They're going to have LDC is going to be there. Axel Lennox is going to be there. I remember when they all started. All these guys were just starting when I met Sean Carr's on there. Anarchy. All those guys are actually that was practically my second home for a while.
We should go there.
But the one I'd be interested in meeting is Colby.
Yeah.
Colby Carino, Steve Carino's son, and Lance Anoya. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's one of the sons of the Samoan. I think he's a son. I'm not sure. I don't know. The Samoans really confused me with where they are. Yeah, it's they're having a good show. Let's see here. Starts. It's going to be at the.
I thought I saw it.
Sportsplex, the 434 Sportsplex, 1900 Vestal Parkway West in, I can barely read it because it's so far away. It looks like Vestal, New York. 601-499. I think I barely can read that.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm sorry. 444-56. No. Looks like 36. Hold on, I got to put it on the other computer screen because that computer screen's too small and too far away. Just put up rope to rope. Oh, you got it? There it is.
1900 Vestal Parkway West, Vestal, New York.
And 607.
444-3691.
Yeah, that 3 looks like a 5 from this angle. But anyway,
my cheaters?
I can't read it from there. Anyway, so that is looks like it's going to be a good match, a good card, and Rob Cook is even on it. I haven't seen him in a year.
We need to go. We need to go, really. We need to go.
It's a long way to go.
That's okay. I gotta go see my boys.
Well, have a good time.
Hey, I've driven to New York by myself.
Yeah, well, I can't hear you. Your microphone. There you go.
Oh.
If you had your headphones on, you would tell I couldn't hear you. Anyway, so those are that's the end of the wrestling segment. I just wanted to, say how excited I was to get out there and participate once again. So, all right. Why is it that I know why. Looks like I wasn't on the screen, and I see I'm on the screen, but so is. I need a better way to do this. So, anyway, all right, let's go back to my scheduled appointment. Let's see here. I didn't plan on talking this much wrestling.
Yes, you did.
Not this much. I was planning on talking about 15 minutes, and it went 45, so actually I went almost an hour. So, okay, let me have this back. There we go. All right. So, now, where are we at? Okay, let's cancel that, close that, and here we go. All right, I got a lot of stuff to talk about, too, so I got to try to move this along. All right, we talked about, let's see, Saturday's show, we talked about that. All right, this is interesting. Finally.
Oh, jeez.
Finally, The Rock has come out with his own tequila, and I blame you for this.
Why?
Because I didn't find this until you sent it out to me. So here is The Rock talking about his tequila, and hopefully, there we go.
But What's up, Dish Nation? I'm Portia.
And I'm Headcraft.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
What you should be asking is, do you smell what The Rock is distilling?
That's right. Dwayne Johnson is getting in the celeb liquor game with his own brand of tequila.
According to reports, Johnson's company has filed a trademark for Mana Tequila.
Oh, well, I'm buying whatever this Mana is selling.
I'll drink to that, jabronis. Catch Dish Nation every weeknight for more all the stories we're dishing about.
So there you go. The Rock and his tequila. Well, I guess I mean, tequila can be a pretty good business. That's what Sammy Hagar did. Actually, Sammy Hagar made so much money off of his tequila that he ended up selling it and making.
One of my boys just came in the chat room.
Oh, okay.
CM Serini.
All right. Well, he made so much money off of his tequila, he never has to work again. And he continues to tour, but he's got so much money now because of the tequila that it's not an issue. He doesn't have to worry about, the idea of working. How I'd like to have that happen. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to work. I forgot. I did do that, and I didn't sell any tequila. So I'm going to try something different there. See if I can get my screen back. Looks like we still have that net right there in the screen. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see if I stand up and then I sit down again. Yeah, it works. Wow, it works. All I got to do is stand up. Stand up, sit down. Anyway, so yeah, the Rock is going to be a tequila god now.
Why do I want to hear that song Tequila now?
Mas Tequila.
Uh-huh.
That's by Sammy Hagar, who happened to be one of the people I was talking about.
Sing it.
All right. This is pretty interesting. In Philadelphia, with the new Marvel thing coming out, they're going to have a blockbuster Marvel exhibition taking over the Franklin Institute from April 13th to September 2nd. Here you go. Comic and movie enthusiasts have something new to geek out about this spring and summer in Philadelphia. The East Coast premiere of Marvel Universe of Superheroes, a new exhibition to view at the Franklin Institute from April 13th through September 2nd. Brings to life the iconic comic book franchises in history, the most iconic franchises in history. So that'd be kind of fun. They have let me see if this is a video. No, that's not a video. Where's the video? That's not a video. I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Well, okay, all right. So these are pictures from it. All right, so what you have here, you have a Spider-Man exhibition with Spider-Man. Of course, that would be with Spider-Man. They have different displays set up for each guy. So now the Marvel universe is much bigger than what we have seen in the movies, because they only the Marvel universe has X-Men and we don't see that in the Avengers stuff. Right. But it says here, Marvel Universe says the exhibit features more than 300 original artifacts, including costumes from Marvel films. Among the items on display is the first ever Marvel comic book, published in 1939. Tickets are 20 to 35 for adults and 15 to 31 for youth, ages 3 to 11. So, like they have this little thing of Spider-Man. They have this Captain America. They have this Groot. Then they have, this was pretty funny, they have a living room with what do they call him? The Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. And, of course, he's in his underwear, so I don't know that I'd want to, I'm not going to be sitting around with him.
Oh, jeez.
Well, if you want to sit around with a guy in his underwear, that's fine.
Not like that.
So, it's something you can look at checking out in Philadelphia. So that is coming up. And, actually, it's now. It's now because it opened on Saturday. So the interesting thing that we talked about earlier is that the box office, Hellboy was expected to win the box office. And boy, did it really lose. Hellboy has little competition and had no real good reason for losing. I really thought it was going to do well. And boy, I was really wrong. I think it was of the four, it was the bottom of the four, wasn't it? No, wait, it wasn't. No, I'm thinking of the... Which one?
I think it was...
Now I have to look at close my spreadsheet. It didn't win because Little came out and won the number one on that. But, yeah, it just...
Hellboy was second.
Hellboy was second. So then we had... oh boy, Hellboy's box office debut is hell, according to this article here. So I think that nobody expected it to do that badly. And I am just in shock at the whole thing, because it should have blown away everything out there, I think. It says why Hellboy was an epic flop at the box office. From awful reviews to losing visionary, I really thought, because from the trailers I saw of that film, I thought it was going to be hilarious. And it really ended up being not that funny. There were funny parts, but not a funny movie. And if they were trying to make it be a funny movie, they would have, But it says it bombed at the weekend with a $12 million debut. I wonder how much they spent on that movie. I would imagine they spent a lot of money on that movie. Because it says here the director brought the creature film to life, and without him, he's already done. What do you got?
Budget was $50 million.
So yeah, they'll make it back, but they're not going to make it back quickly like they had hoped. But it says he really brought this creature film feature to life, and without him, just like in the case of Pacific Rim Uprising, losing him behind the camera was the death knell. Talking about Guillermo del Toro was the director. Okay. So he also directed the first two movies in 2004 and 2008. So I didn't know there was one in 2008. I knew there was one in 2004. So if this is the third one, I don't know. I thought it was probably the second one, but says here the movie made a disappointing $12 million in its debut over the weekend, falling short of the somewhat modest projections that put it between $14 million and $20 million. Oh, they didn't really expect it to do much if they put between 14 and 20. Hellboy placed third behind Shazam, and then they did $25 million, and Little, which made 15. I don't know. It was really a disappointing movie, actually, because I didn't really think that it was what I wanted it to be. So maybe that's
I know I didn't watch any of the other ones, and
me neither.
I was having trouble following this.
Well, they bounced us around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that we needed to know to follow the script, but they did bounce around quite a bit on that. So, it's a shame, but they can't all be winners, and as I proved, because I didn't get the win this week. So, I don't know. And Shazam, did okay, but it's going to do less and less now because it's, the Avengers is coming out, so we're going to see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, all right. So Avengers is going to be so big. It says here, Avengers Endgame being called one of the biggest movies of our lifetime. And the theaters are actually adding additional showtimes to the feature because they really know that everybody's going to want to see it. And the way that depending how they do this movie, they're going to lose a lot of characters after this movie, because I know a lot of the guys have gotten to the point where they're ready to retire. So, let's see here. Now I accidentally closed my window. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't close this time. Is it there? Okay, there we go. So, there's less than 2 weeks standing between Marvel fans and the moment they've been waiting for. April 26th, 11 days from now, or actually, I don't know how many days it is from now.
April 26th.
Yeah. What do you get? What do we at? 16?
10 days.
10 days from now. It'll finally be released in theaters for the world to see. Now, it was already released.
So we've talked for Civil War, we've talked for Infinity War before, and each time we've kind of talked about how you've expanded the splash page with action sequences, wondering in Endgame. Did you guys go even bigger on the fold out?
Here's the thing, you cannot chase.
These are the Russo brothers. They're the people that directed this movie. And they directed the last one, too. Just in case you were wondering. Now it's not going to talk because I interrupted them.
With movies, all you can do is chase storytelling. And so, you know, Endgame is just us committing the storytelling on the highest level. And, you know, we poured our heart and soul into this one, and, you know, we'll see how audiences respond to it.
I can't wait to see it. One quick question. I saw people talking about this on Twitter. Why do you think they're called Infinity Stones and not Infinity Gems in the movie?
I don't know. I think it's just a
Wait a minute, did I see this before? This sounds familiar.
To them as stones first. Who brings it?
It's a good question. I have to think about how. I can't remember the
They're
exact moment
elemental
where he made that
stones.
choice.
Yeah.
There's one theory, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I think you have based on your Instagram profile picture. Ant-Man shrinks down and kills Thanos from the inside.
He does. Wait, what does he do to him?
Was that at least
that would be good.
14 million?
I never would have thought of that. So Ant-Man shrinks down, say he goes into a nostril, and then expands. He could kill him that way.
Ow!
Hey, it worked.
That would hurt.
I never thought of that.
Oh.
That would be good.
Yeah, I guess so, but that would hurt.
Visions that Doctor Strange had. They tried that, dude.
Listen, there's the thing. Thanos is incredibly strong. His skin is almost impervious. The question would be, what would happen to Ant-Man if you did that?
Well, he would die, but he would die for a reason.
Really bad.
I don't know
What if somebody had, sneezed him out?
Well, he could put a bomb in his gut somewhere and then get back out.
Where I asked you which characters you were most excited for. It was Star-Lord and Thor is what you told me. Interestingly enough, they seem to have made the two biggest mistakes. But can you say which characters you're most excited for?
Unfortunately, we cannot.
Because you would have been revealing who's going to screw up this time. One of my favorite things, I'm a big Iron Man fan. And I think since you guys have taken over the Iron Man character through three films or two that I've seen, his arc has seemed to really center around his family. So I'm curious, just your perspective on what you're doing with Iron Man's journey going into Endgame and what we can.
I've heard rumors that he wanted to get out of his contract. I heard that he wanted out of his contract, and Captain America wanted out of his contract, and Thor wants out of his. So we would have three superheroes right there that are major names that want out of their contracts. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to play the whole clip because it's quite a bit long, but I did want to play part of it anyway. Stan Lee's last cameo is supposed to be in this, so we'll get to see Stan Lee one last time. Kind of sad because, obviously he's not around anymore, but, you got to do what you got to do when you die. I mean, you can only do so much after you're dead. You can only make so many cameos after you're dead. So, another big thing is Journey announces a Las Vegas residency. So, if you like Las Vegas, you could go to, or if you like Journey, you can go to Las Vegas and see them because they're going to be playing there on a regular basis. Show marks the first appearance of the year, which is a quiet one, following their massive 2018 tour with Def Leppard. I'll tell you what, that will be really good because I understand that they're just a phenomenal show.
Now, when they have residency like that, does that mean that, they live there?
Yes.
And they can they go out, do their show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's, I mean, a lot of stars like Celine Dion, whatever her name is, she did it, and a lot of the big stars have done that, and they make big bucks for doing that.
Okay.
And because Las Vegas is, they're making mucho bucks, and whoever has the best show, the people often gamble at those places, and so they're going to do all right in that little situation. I think it's really. I never. Oh wow! I'm looking at everybody in the band. Somebody has a bald head. I want to see where. I gotta think that Neil Sean has got to be the second one from the left. That might be him. He used to have that big bushy hair, and I want to see where's the Asian guy that sings? Must be the guy on the right. The guy, he's darker than everybody else. I think the other ones are. I don't know though. Might be the guy in the middle. I don't know. Anyway. I just think it's awesome because I've never seen Journey either, and that would be a fun show. Journey and REO Speedwagon. They were touring together for a long time, and I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been a fun show. So that's what I got for entertainment. Then we go on to other stuff. I'm running through these quickly because I kind of spent. I wasn't planning on doing. Any interviews.
That's okay.
Just did it at the last minute. All right, crimes. Got to talk about crimes because people are stupid. I'll skip some of these because I can do them next week. I want to do the right ones. This one is awful. This one is horrible. This guy here threw a kid off of a third-floor balcony.
Oh.
A 5-year-old. Man accused of throwing 5-year-old off mall balcony faces attempted murder charge. He should just be thrown in jail without the key. I don't understand how anybody could do that to somebody, but that's a situation. The guy ended up. The kid is lucky to be alive, and unfortunately he did live. So
that's
at least,
a good thing.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the video to be ready, but I just don't understand. I mean, he didn't know the kid. He was looking for someone to hurt. And hey,
Bloomington police were called to the Mall of America, specifically the Southeast Court. Our initial information indicated that a child had fallen from the 3rd level and had landed down on the 1st level floor. Additional information from witnesses indicated that the child might have been either pushed or thrown from level 3. Our officers initially responded and performed first aid on the child, along with some other actual witnesses. And
I can't imagine 3 floors. How did he survive that? How did he survive 3 floors?
Passerby.
A 5-year-old.
An angel watching over him somewhere.
The child did suffer significant injuries. The child has been transported to the hospital and is currently receiving care. Witnesses also indicated that the suspect that had either pushed or possibly thrown the child took off running immediately after the incident. We located that suspect quickly. That suspect has been taken into custody. He's currently at the Bloomington Police Department.
You should throw him off the 3rd floor and let him. I'm sure he wouldn't land as well.
And there is no harm or threat to the public at this point. We feel that this is an isolated incident. And again, the suspect that was involved has been arrested and brought to the Bloomington Police Department and is at that location at this time.
Unbelievable. I mean, what kind of monster would do that? I can't even imagine that somebody would have the. I don't even know what to call it. What the guts? It's not guts. It's stupid. Oh wait, what's this? Officials searching for armed and dangerous woman. Oh, yeah, she did threats. Okay. I don't know. But it's weird. Then we have As if that's not bad enough. I mean, that's plenty bad, right?
Right.
Well, that's not bad enough.
Uh-oh.
Man fleeing police left child in car to die in burning car. Man fleeing police left child to die in burning car.
Oh.
That's, to me, unreal. I can't, that doesn't make sense to me at all. And why would somebody do that? It drives me nuts to know that there's people out there that would do stuff like that. I don't know. But, sadly, it says authorities in South Carolina say a man fleeing a traffic stop left his daughter to die in a burning car. News outlets report 26-year-old, oh, what a name, Osiris Norman was charged with homicide by child abuse. The South Carolina State Police said troopers tried to stop him from speeding on Friday, and Captain Kelly Hughes says the pursuing troopers noticed Norman's car was smoking and sparking. Authorities say a bag was thrown from the moving car, and they said it was later tested positive for illegal drugs. The car then burst into flames, and Norman fled on foot. When it rolled to a stop, the investigators then found the body of a 1-year-old Zena Rala Norman in the car's back seat. Your own kid. You're killing your own freaking kid.
That is awful.
Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. I'd never really cared too much for kids to begin with, but I would never, ever harm a kid. Well, most kids. Most kids I wouldn't harm. Okay, maybe a handful.
In your match, you
maybe a handful of kids. But anyway, here's another one. Do you remember a couple years ago that there was a father who threw his daughter off a bridge?
Ooh.
Deliberately threw his, jurors deliberate on man who dropped his daughter off a bridge.
No.
It was, of course, in Florida. Florida man who threw his 5-year-old daughter off a Tampa bridge for 4 years ago knew what he was doing. Knew that what he was doing was wrong and should be found guilty of first-degree murder. But his name is John Chuck. John, I don't think people should be allowed to plead insanity because you're still dangerous to the public, especially to that kid. And I think the kid lived, if I remember correctly. For some reason, I think that. I might be wrong about that. Let me see here. John Chuck loved Phoebe more than anything else in the world, and there's no evidence that he acted with unbridled anger. Well, what other reason? Did she need a bath? He just thought you could take care of her that way? I'm trying to see here if she died. Oh, here it is. Her body was found. Okay, a marine rescue boat was summoned, and her body was found hours later. I guess she did die. Aww. So, personally, if this guy gets off, somebody should just kill him. Someone should just shoot the guy, because he doesn't deserve to live. You know, you kill your own daughter like that. I can't understand how anybody could do something like that. Here you go. Another Florida story. This is Florida week again.
Oh no.
Well, this one's almost funny. Florida man is nabbed for allegedly speeding. Tells cops the car is a Ferrari and it goes fast. Why'd you do it? Well, because it's a Ferrari. I just speeded because it was a Ferrari.
In your case, it's a Tesla.
Oh, Tesla's faster than the Ferrari as far as I'm concerned. But I think it's. I mean, that's just give him a ticket or take him to jail or whatever you're gonna do to him. They should charge him for the idiot tax because he's an idiot. But I don't think they're gonna do that. Let's see if we have anything coming up here. We got a video coming up, And is it going to have a commercial? That's the question. Oh, hey, it didn't have a commercial. That means we'll have to back it up, hit this, and
immerse yourself in.
Okay, what's going on? Oh, am I supposed to read this? I can't read that. Well, that was really horrible. Well, whatever. I couldn't read it anyway because it was real little lettering. So if you... Oh, wait, here we go. Are you going to... Oh, wait, I got to see this. Raw video shows California shopper hides chainsaw in his pants.
Oh, geez.
Now that I got to see.
Just know.
I got to know why. But it shows he's got his... Oh, wow, how does he do that? Everybody watch, because you may have to do this someday in your life. He actually put it in his pants.
Wow.
Well, I guess that if you buy a chainsaw that has a cover on the chain, might not. You could show you have a belly or something. I could get away with that because I actually have a belly, so I could hide it. Yeah, it looks like he's just fat. Wow. I don't know. That's
and
California.
He might have an extra long package.
I'll bet he does. Looks like he might. All right, anyway. All right, next. Okay, stop. There we go. All right, next one. Did this one. Then we got... I'll hold that till next week because we can do that. We can do that next week.
Are you going to talk about the fire?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many people are talking about it. I want to talk about stuff that not necessarily everybody would be talking about.
Oh. Wait a minute. Let me look into this.
All right. I'll wait for that. Because I can do that next week.
I forgot about her.
This one you sent to me, and I think it's cool. I really want one of these. You got me all excited. So.
Oh, I can still get you excited.
This is a very awesome toy. Do you know how much it is?
More than my budget.
Yeah, I could imagine it's more than most of our budget because I can't afford it either. So this is it's a water device. I don't know. What do you call it?
It's like a jet ski. Almost.
Yeah. Have you ever dreamed of flying through the water like a jet pilot?
Watercraft, submarine hybrid.
It's called a Sea Breacher, and it's designed to function like a dolphin flipping through the ocean. It's a two-person boat submarine hybrid that lets you both cruise around the top of the water or dive under the water. I thought this was the coolest thing because they showed different things, like different types. You got the dolphin, a shark. You can, what was the other one? It was a dolphin, a shark.
I saw dolphin and stopped.
Here you go. Here's the other one that was really cool too. Like a marlin.
Oh wow!
They have all kinds of stuff that you can get, and it just really looked fun. But of course, the big problem is the ticket. $80,000.
Oh.
That's how much it is to buy a Sea Breacher. But you can have all kinds of funs with that. And I said funds. But I mean, just imagine that's really cool. So, yeah, that would definitely be fun to get around in. The pictures are really awesome. But anyway, that's what we got, and I thought that would definitely be something that people would be enjoying if they could afford it. That's the big one. Is the expense of that is just oh, here we go. This is the Sea Breacher submersible. It's a dolphin-inspired watercraft. So I mean, it just looks like it could be a lot of fun. You can cruise on top. You can go under the water. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. And it doesn't look I mean, it doesn't look too hard to. The one I don't know if this video clip does it or not, but it does like a flip and stuff too. Like you can come out of the water and you can like do a roll.
Oh wow!
And those are just doing things, but that one did a. I saw it do a roll when I was looking at this. I don't remember which video did that, but yeah, there's the Marlin. Here we go. There's the roll. It's pretty fun. It looks like it would be a lot of fun, but you know, alas, most of us can't afford that. So it'd be fun though. I would definitely. I'd probably not. I'd probably say, "Oh, I'd do it all the time. I'd have fun with that." But you know what? I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to that stuff. I don't know that I'd actually do it. It looks more fun than I think I can have.
Says someone who would drive a go-kart or a racing car, and I wouldn't.
I thought I would have done better than I did on that. Although I did, I think it was third in the one lap of the one race. So that wasn't as horrible as it could be, but I felt like an old man on that thing because I just couldn't keep up with everybody. I wanted to keep up with them, but it just wasn't going to happen. Okay, I'll do those next week.
We missed a death.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. I didn't miss it. I saw it.
Oh, okay.
It's nobody I knew.
You never watched Mary Tyler Moore? She was the girl that had
years and years, so far ago.
She was the girl that had the squeaky, like, really young
That's
girl
why
voice.
That's why I didn't want to remember her.
Oh, okay.
I hated that voice.
Okay.
Well, you might as well. You start it. You might as well do it. You might as well talk about her. Because I had no. I didn't bother putting her in there because I didn't think anybody would know who she was.
Well, she was also on Everybody Loves Raymond.
I didn't like that show.
Oh, okay.
I never watched that show either. So since you started it, I gotta do it now because.
I'm sorry.
What was her name?
Georgia Engel. Engel. See, I don't remember her getting married, though. According to this, her character got married, and I don't remember that.
All right. So, Georgia Engel, if you saw, she was, I forget how old she was. She was old. 70. So, she's from Princeton, New Jersey, though.
Yeah.
Or that's where she lived, anyway. Born in D.C. She was an actress best known for Georgia Franklin Baxter in the Mary Tyler Moore Show from 72 to 77, and Pat McDougal from Everyone Knows Raymond from 2003 to 2005. I think she was in a lot of other things too. I just don't. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, down here.
A lot of stuff was. Well, she did do things.
She was in Dr. Dolittle too. I remember that.
She was in a bunch of movies I didn't watch. The Care Bears movie I would never watch. Signs of Life, Dr. Dolittle 2.
She was on the Love Boat. I remember her being on the Love Boat in Fantasy Island.
Everybody was on Love Boat.
Uh-huh.
I was on the Love Boat. Let's see. Rhoda, Betty White Show, Mary Tyler Moore, Mork and Mindy, Good Time Girls, Love Boat, Fantasy Island. Jennifer Slept Here. Hi, honey, I'm home. Coach, Everybody Loves Raymond. Passions. You know, that's not true. Everybody does not love Raymond. I do not love Raymond. The Office, 2.5 Men. See, those are all shows I wouldn't watch. I would never watch 2.5 Men. My brother thought that was the funniest show ever.
Did you watch One Day at a Time?
Yes.
Okay.
But not that version.
Oh, okay.
I watched the original.
Yeah, I did too.
You know, so those, I can't tell you that I watched any of those shows really regularly. So.
I've seen her on Mary Tyler Moore and The Love Boat, and I just remember her for the voice.
I probably know her from Mary Tyler Moore, but it's so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think anybody would remember her. I thought I didn't think you would know who she was. Well, because she did a lot of really bizarre stuff. Okay, so I'll skip that. Go to the main Okay, we got this. Man was killed by... Oh, this is really strange. People that have exotic pets live by the bird, die by the bird.
Oh, geez.
Florida man was killed by a large flightless cassowary that's built a reputation as the world's most dangerous bird, but a study suggests humans to blame for the aggression. So this bird, a guy owned this bird, and this bird decided he wanted to kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
He's an ugly bird, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to have a bird, I want a good-looking bird. I don't want to have an ugly bird. But, hey, some people collect the weirdest things. But I don't know. Birds are dirty creatures. I just don't see me liking birds. You like birds? Oh, you're destroying my set. There's a big... Oh, you probably lost the pin, too.
As long as it stays there.
Yeah, well. Yeah, so much for that. Anyway.
Well, it depends on what kind of bird you're talking about.
They can grow to be over 5.6 feet and weigh 167 pounds and have dagger-like claws on their feet.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it's a little parakeet, it's okay.
It's not, it's far from that.
Yeah, well then, nope. And then it has to be stuffed.
Yeah, well, that would be okay. Maybe cranberry sauce.
Ugh.
You're going to have cranberry sauce.
No!
You're going to eat a bird.
Nope.
Turkey or whatever. Okay, this girl, she's a this girl. This girl was hit and run. She was hit by a hit and run driver. She's a 9-year-old. She was mowed down at a grisly hit and run. She's speaking out. This little girl, she is lucky to be alive. She is so lucky to be alive. And she lived to tell the tale. Not even a fractured skull and a shattered pelvis can keep La Derihanna Holmes down. I don't have to say that too often, I hope. But this little girl is brave as can be. Oh, man, to be hit by a hit-and-run driver, that's crazy. But, she had a fractured skull and a shattered pelvis at 9. She, 2 weeks after hit-and-run driver, are we not getting commercials? Let's see. Yep, we are. They tricked me. It looked like a regular story, and then boom, they hit me with that. Bastards.
You likely remember this video.
I don't.
We want to warn you.
I did see it. It was freaky.
Here it is. LaDariana Holmes was playing outside her Georgia home when suddenly a car veers off the road and hits her.
Look at that.
The good news is she survived. She is finally out of the hospital. She joins me now with her mother, Charlotte. What a miracle to see you both. LaDariana, you look
so
just
weird.
like a princess with your big bow and your big smile. And we all just want to know, how are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good. I feel better that I'm out of the hospital.
LaDariana, tell me about your brother. You have a 12-year-old brother, right? And I think I heard you call him your hero.
Yes, he did do CPR on me.
Yeah.
But
Can
there
you
also
imagine
was
CPR?
Named Pete that also helped me.
What do you have to say to them this morning?
I just want to say thank you.
Hi, Johnny.
I want to thank Damarion because he helped me.
Hi, Michelle.
What does it feel like, LaDariana, to have survived something
What does
like
it feel
this?
like to have a car hit you at that rate of speed? Can you imagine just like you're playing in your yard, not causing anybody trouble? You're even near the house. There's a big yard in the front, and this car comes plowing through and it just slams into you at 9.
No.
You're 9 years old. Now, this kid has been scarred for life because of this idiot.
Yes, and to have your amazing family around you, the amazing doctors and nurses in the hospital that helped you get through this.
It feels amazing. I try to think about it as much as I can.
Wow.
It's hard to look at.
Her appointments to psychological evaluations, therapies, rehabilitations. She's going to have about 3 appointments every week for months on end. The time frame is really unknown right now. It just depends on how she heals. I'm concerned with her 100% healing because I want her to get back to what she loves to do.
I know you're a cheerleader, right? You love cheering. Are you excited to get back to that?
Yes.
Yeah, once my hip is replaced.
Yeah, I bet you are, and I bet all of your friends are very excited to give you a big hug.
I just think that the guy deserves to not only go to jail, he needs to have his hips worked on. These people. Okay, so we lost that, so we can't use that anymore. All right, well, that's the end of that fun thing because you pulled down the curtain. You showed everybody that the studio is not brand new.
Well, it's like not a whole lot of room over here to move.
How much room do you need? Why are you moving? Why don't you just stay put?
Stretch.
Yeah, look what you did. You destroyed the studio.
I tried.
Yeah. I can do that next week. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Did you see the Galaxy folding phone?
No.
All right, you like this. So Galaxy has a new phone that's a folding phone. And here you go.
Folds?
Yes, that is unfolded. Okay, that is unfolded.
Okay.
Okay.
That looks like an iPad almost.
It does. Let me show you what it looks like folded. Wait a minute. Where is it? Saw a picture of it folded. Shoot. Where were they? Let me see if I have another. Which one did I go to? Business. Oh, maybe this one. Here you go. There's a YouTube video. This is very, very cool. And so everybody wants a bigger screen. And your chance to have a bigger screen is this technology of folding screens. So that is an awesome thing.
After months of hype and even a lot of time tantalizing us from under glass, Samsung is ready to let us have some hands-on time with the Galaxy Fold. Pre-orders are already open, and if you want to check it out in stores, that date is April 26th. This guy's going to cost a whopping close to $2,000. That's $1,980. You're really, for that price, getting about 2 phones in one, but also the satisfying ability to snap this phone shut like you would a Motorola Razr.
Yeah, look at that. Kinda, except that,
One of the things that people were most concerned about with the 7.3-inch display was whether the crease would be visible, and you can tell that there is, but it's not really too obstructive. It's kind of like reading a book that has a folded page. It's not going to prevent you from getting the information that you need. The other issue that people were concerned with is that when this phone folds, it doesn't actually close all the way. There is definitely a noticeable gap. You can actually sort of slide a credit card through. Not really though, because on the right end over here, on the shut end, it actually does close and is held together by pretty strong magnets. In fact, strong enough that prying it open is something you want to definitely try to do with 2 hands. The reason I keep triggering Bixby, by the way, is because my thumb keeps hitting this button over here. This is a fingerprint sensor embedded into the side of the phone, but also is the Bixby button. It is remappable, just like it is on the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus, but you can't use it to summon other assistants. You can just use it to launch another app.
I love the idea of it.
Size-wise, this is how the Fold compares with the Galaxy S10 Plus on the right over here. It's basically about half of it, but then folded, it's a lot skinnier, but
it's
about
really
the same
kind of cool.
And it's called an advanced composite polymer material that the panel is made from, because
they've been talking about this for a long time.
So that it can bend.
But I like how it can bend. And I thought there would be a seam, but it doesn't seem like there is.
Maybe just a little less bright and stunning, but
I mean, there is a seam,
I
but
still
not
haven't
really.
noticed an issue with, screen clarity, save for the pretty obvious crease. There's also a USB-C charging port
which
at the
everybody
bottom,
is starting
where
to
you will
use
notice
now.
there is no headphone jack anymore.
Nobody
On the
uses
side, there are
headphones
other
in
buttons
here.
like the power, the volume rocker. The reason the fingerprint sensor is on the side here is pretty clear. They couldn't squeeze a fingerprint reader under the screen like they did.
Remember, this is going to be $2,000.
And probably don't want to put it on the back of the phone to smear the.
Everybody said Apple was crazy
Now,
when
speaking
they
of the
came out with a $1,500 phone, and now you got one that's $2,000. So that's amazing to me that that technology even exists. That you could actually, I mean, when I first heard it, I thought they were just kidding. I thought that wasn't going to really, you know, wasn't going to be a situation, wasn't going to be a real product. So apparently it is, yes, and it looks really kind of cool. I actually wouldn't mind having one. I mean, that you can't tell that that's two phones, except that you know it is. So you see a little notch there where it would fold. And I wonder how that technology works so that there's no creases and, you know, and all that stuff. So I just think it's a really neat idea that they would have that. Now, we were talking about Lancaster earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know where the #1 place to retire in the U.S. is? You would think it would be Florida.
You would think. Or
It's
California.
not. It's not.
Well, what is it?
Lancaster is the nation's #1 place to
Wow,
retire,
really?
according to the U.S. News Top 100 list. If you're thinking about retiring,
It's got to be Lancaster, California.
yeah, maybe it is. Let me take a look, because that would make sense. Let me see. It's Fox 43. It's probably not. Oh, the Red Rose City beat out Florida cities, and Florida cities Fort Myers and Sarasota, Austin, Texas, and Pittsburgh in the top 5. So if you live in Texas, if you live in Lancaster, you're better off staying put. Let's take a look at the 100 places to retire, the best places to retire, according to this real estate thing. Lancaster, PA is #1.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not, it is #1.
Well, then you're living in the wrong place.
I'm living close to it.
Oh,
If it smells, it must be Lancaster. Lancaster. I think I said that on Saturday. Fort Myers is #2. Sarasota is #3. Austin, Texas, #4. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I really am really surprised to see that. Grand Rapids, Nashville, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Lakeland, Florida, El Paso. So it looks like a lot of Florida and a lot of Texas,
Right,
back and
they're
forth.
warm.
So we have one out of the ordinary, Lancaster. The rest of these are warm places. Well, Pittsburgh's not warm, but I mean, really, overall, Grand Rapids, Michigan's not warm either. So, but most of these are more south than this.
Wow.
So I'm really surprised that. Congratulations, Lancaster. You did something right. So it's funny. We're back. I got my waves back. That's just very heavy. Oh, it broke. It fell down again.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's just that material's really heavy. That's why I want to put more pins in it. Now that I know that it works, and if I straighten it out and make it right, then I can make it look better, and won't have to use as many lights. New York is actually one of them. It says number 16. You couldn't pay me to live there. Allentown, Pennsylvania is number 18. What about Harrisburg? Why isn't Harrisburg there?
They figured Lancaster was close enough. Hey, you got 2 Portlands.
Portland, Maine, and Portland, Oregon. Wow. Yeah, 2 sides of the country. You can go East Coast or West Coast. So I just found that interesting. You never know what's going to be one of the stories until I pull it out of the archives and see what it is. If you are an iOS lover, iPhone, iOS 13 will reportedly include a system update that will allow you to do dark mode in Facebook.
Oh.
Dark mode would be awesome. Huh. What's that? Wait a minute. Nope. fool me twice, or how many times? Anyway, it'll have a system-wide dark mode and undo gesture. That's one thing I don't like about my iPhone, about like using the iCloud. If I delete something by accident, like I've written lyrics in iPhone, and I've deleted something by accident and had to retype them all. And you can't do that with the iPhone. Well, guess what? You can now. All right, this is going on for a long time here. When are we going to skip this here thing? It's a long. What's he doing? What are they doing?
Coloring his hair.
Oh, making it covering his bald spot. Interesting. I've heard about this. This is supposed to be pretty cool. I don't want to cover my bald spot. Oh, I can hit this though. That works. Yeah, it says iOS 13 may include a system-wide dark mode. Now
this probably isn't going to shock too many people, but rumor is Apple is getting ready to announce iOS 13 at the Worldwide Developer Conference in June. The more important part. Worldwide Developer Conference in June. The more important part, though, is that details about the update are already starting to leak out. The most obvious visual change will certainly be the long-awaited arrival of a system-wide dark mode. macOS already has a dark mode, and Android added one last year with the debut of Pi. iOS 13 is also giving apps the ability to have multiple windows, on the iPad at least. Each window can even have multiple sheets that can be detached and moved around independently of the main app window. This is a pretty huge deal for something like the iPad Pro that is clearly trying to be a serious productivity device. Not surprisingly, a lot of the improvements that are supposedly coming to iOS 13 are very much focused on productivity. For instance, there's going to be a standard undo gesture for text across the entire OS. Instead of having to shake your 13-inch tablet just to undo a quick typo, you'll be able to tap the screen with 3 fingers and then swipe left or right to undo and redo respectively. Apple is also redesigning the Reminders app and the Volume UI and giving the Mail app a major upgrade. It will automatically categorize messages as marketing, travel, not important, and more, and you'll even be able to tag a message to read later. Basically, it sounds like Apple learned a lot from Google's failed inbox experiment. Oh, and lastly, Safari will be smart enough to automatically request the desktop version of a site when appropriate, which will save a lot of time because we all know there are plenty of sites out there.
Now, one thing, the system-wide dark mode, do you know what that is?
No.
I think it's, if you're on Facebook, for instance, you can go to dark mode so that nobody knows you're on.
How do you do that?
You can't yet. That's 13. It's coming out. That's one thing. I think that is. I think that's what they're talking about for dark mode, is that it'll allow you to go dark.
So that's what like invisible?
Yeah, yeah. And I think I thought they had that before. That's why I'm really kind of bummed, because, like, for instance, I hate when somebody tries to call me on the phone on the the Facebook phone
Messenger.
Yeah. Well, I think dark mode would be eliminated then. I thought we used to, back in the old days, back in the dark ages, it was easy to turn it off because there was an off button, but there's no off button now.
Right.
Well, dark mode, I think, would allow you to be able to avoid getting people to call you.
Well, I know there's a way that you can show that you're not active, but
you can turn chat all the way off.
Yeah, but that's for everybody.
Yeah, I think the dark mode would be an awesome thing. So, that's what the main gist of this. I want to get through a bunch more before, a couple more as quick as I can here, because it's real important that. Okay, that one is okay. That I can kill. All right, that's what we did. There were a couple more really important ones that I wanted to say. Some of these I've been holding for weeks. I just I'm not getting enough time to do them all. I did that one. I remember doing that one. That's sad. I put sad and happy at the same time. That's not it. Where's the new ones? I did that. Did I do that one? I don't remember if I did the one on the Python. Did I do the Python story last week? It was 17 foot, 140 pounds?
Yes.
Okay. Thought I did that one.
Yeah, I wasn't here for it, but I remember seeing it on.
Okay. Going through here. I know there was some new. Oh, there. Wait. Oh, that was okay. Darn, where's the other? Shoot. Okay. Here we go. Here's one. I really thought I was going to run out of stories. All right. If you ever wanted to watch a food truck explode out of existence, supposedly, here you go. You can see that. Wait a minute. I guess I got to turn on the other. Hold on. Okay. If you ever wanted to see one, here you go. It's Buck Chicken is the name of the food truck. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on here. Okay. So this is a food truck explode. Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. That'll do it. So you can watch this chicken truck explode. Let's see it big. I want to see it big. Okay. Now we'll start it over. Wait, did I turn off the... Hold on. Got to check and see if I turned off the sound on this. If I did, I want to turn it back on. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to watch this chicken truck explode. This is really for Jen, because she works on one of those. So, here we go. Boom.
Oh.
I don't know why it exploded. I just know it's a food cart explosion. And looks like some kind of like monster explosion there that happened out of war. But there you go. I've always wanted to watch one of those explode. Now I feel better. All right, next one. Okay. This is I hope if I ever turn 100, I still won't do this. But this man turned 100, and he had a big goal in mind. As Grand Canyon Park I read this wrong. As Grand Canyon Park turns 100, two friends hike the entire length to save it. Grand Canyon is big. To walk the entire Grand Canyon would take a while. A few years ago, filmmaker, photographer, and writer filmed the path of the Colorado River and amazed to see that the river doesn't reach the ocean anymore. Let's see what we got here. I think that's what's going to come up. Come on. Come on. I don't have all day. Days later. Actually, I do have all day.
Vicky, you could put your dishes in the
you're gonna
sink when you're done.
Shut up. Anyway, the river flooded the sea for 6 million years, and it stopped 2 decades ago. He traveled 75 countries for a host of publications and projects. So.
No! So I set out to walk the entire length of Grand Canyon, roughly 750 miles.
It's Mickey Dolenz.
A documentary film and a book. You can keep going. Oh, jeez. I don't know why I got the idea to walk it, but I'd done a lot.
I did have a transgender story. Yeah, that's the one I wanted to do.
It couldn't be that hard.
Thank you. I knew there was something.
By day 3, I was like, I'm never ever going to make it.
I couldn't do it.
Done.
I couldn't do it. I can't imagine walking the length. 112 degrees. And he's walking this.
I couldn't. I've never even been to the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon.
I couldn't drive the distance was 390 miles. I couldn't drive 390 miles.
We often don't think we have this vast wilderness that once you're in there, nobody's going to come and get you. It looks, for the most part, like it did for thousands and thousands.
I couldn't do it. And imagine if you get hurt, or no one's going to be able to find you.
A lot of pressure around.
I mean, it'd be cool if you could do that. And you would have a story to tell people, because how beautiful. I mean, the Grand Canyon is just unbelievable.
I'm not here to perfectly fine water. The beginnings was in late September in 2015 when we started this, and I teamed up with a writer named Kevin Fedarko, who's a good friend, and we followed 3 other hikers.
Look how small they are compared to the wall.
Prepare for the terrain. The 100+ degree temperatures. They had.
I mean, under the best of conditions, I'm not hiking anywhere.
Levels. Their feet turned to hamburger.
Ooh, he has blisters on his feet. No.
Nearly unconscious from a condition called hyponatremia.
Anyway, so if you ever need anything to do, let's hike the whole Grand Canyon. I want to find this one story. I knew there was one that you reminded me of one that I needed to talk about. Where did I put it? I knew there was one in here. Where is it? Oh, it's under crimes. That's right. That's why. It's under crimes. There it is. Okay. So a man was arrested in Dallas for just one of the worst things I could think of. He saw a transgender woman and he said, let's beat this woman up. Man arrested for assault on transgender woman. Now, I got to tell you, there's more to this story because we were trying to figure out why he would just beat up a transgender woman. Okay. Well, I then eventually found another article on it, and the other article was, hey, what are you doing? You're taking away. Okay, here it is. The other story, the one that I found, a man was offered $200 to beat a transgender woman as the crowd cheered on. Wow. That is just unbelievable. Now, why did they offer $200?
Drug money?
Nope.
Oh.
A man who beat a transgender woman in broad daylight in Dallas was offered $200 to carry out the attack, which may be deemed a hate crime. The victim, Malaysia Booker, was repeatedly punched and kicked Friday by a group of men, as captured by the video footage. One suspect, 29-year-old Edward Thomas, has been arrested. He's the only one been arrested so far. The incident began after Booker accidentally backed into the suspect's car and attempted to flee. The suspect allegedly ran her off the road to try to stop her and then threatened her with a gun unless she paid for the damages. So the transgender woman accidentally hit a car, panicked, and tried to leave.
Wow.
So, according to the affidavit, and as can be heard in the video, someone offered Thomas $200 to beat up Booker following the minor car accident. As he and several other men beat her, Thomas and others in the crowd yelled, "That's what your faggot ass gets. Get that faggot out of our hood and shoot that punk ass."
That's just not right.
Booker suffered a fractured wrist, bruising and swelling of the face, and concussion from being knocked unconscious. Several women intervened and carried her away from the scene and drove her to the hospital. Okay, so hitting another person's car, that always, it happens. My poor Tesla's been hit by the parking lot already.
Right.
3 days after I had it. But would I beat the living daylights out of the person? No. I would call the police, have them arrested, and that would be the end of it. But now this guy is going to jail for a hate crime because I don't think it was for the $200. I think he just doesn't like transgender people. And it's just unbelievable. Booker, who didn't immediately respond to a request for comment, thanked her friends for the support in a Facebook post. Thank you to all my genuine friends that have been with me through this journey and knowing the real me, knowing nobody deserves that. Absolutely no one deserves that. It just sucks that there are people like that. Mm-hmm. It sucks that people hate a person because of what they are or
it
what
just
they
shows they were not raised right.
And I hate people because my water is not hitting my window anymore. So I don't know if I can do it again by standing. Oh, I got it back. I don't know why it does that. I think it's the shade. If the shade isn't exactly right, it'll,
yeah.
But anyway, All right. Thank you for putting up with this foolishness, and I appreciate you guys listening to our show. And just remember, well, I'm going to post credits. That's the first time. But it has our phone number. If you want to leave a message on the voicemail, I will play the message. And my links and stuff are on here, as well as the Mix, who has been very nice to us and kept us on the air when we were in times of need. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week. And remember, the most important part is that I've got to get over here and touch this at the same time that I do everything else. I just don't have enough hands. Okay. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you again for listening. And remember, the most important part